Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Proficiency Bonus. This is episode 25 of Storm King's Thunder. My name is Michael, your most humble and gracious and merciful dungeon master for the evening. You can ask everybody in our party how nice I am.
Like blinking help in Morse code.
Send help to 123 Internet Street.
Nice. We're just so glad that you're joining us tonight. I'm getting a little bit of echo from somebody, and it's kicking my voice back into my head, and I'm like, ah!
Call me out.
So,
I know it's you.
that's Christy calling out Zoss already. Here we go.
It's gonna be a rough one, mate.
Oh, she's got her headphones. All right. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, yeah.
Zoss has got her headphones. Raise the roof. We're already having a good time here tonight. We haven't even started. It's awesome. So we want to throw out a couple quick shout outs to Team MZ for all their support for small streamers like us. You can check them out on Twitter. Also want a big shout out to Many Sided Dice. They've got an awesome 5e magic compendium out right now. You can check them out by clicking on the link below in our Twitch stream. We have a link set up for Many Sided Dice. We also have a link set up for Nightshade Creations. Want to throw a quick shout out to them for all their support and partnering with us. They create some different dice rolling towers and dice trays. So if you want to check them out, make sure you check them out at the link below. If you just click down there, you'll see a link down there below us. You can check them out as well. Also want to throw a couple other quick shout outs that we got a few new followers for the week that I'm really excited about. We've got SH Clothing has followed Proficiency Bonus this week. We've got Hendy Games. Now, last week, Matthew, I believe you said the L was silent in this name, so I'm going to try it. Is it Kafani Akil has followed us?
Kafani is the name, yep.
Kafani, thank you so much for the follow, Kafani. White Wolf 2100 followed, and Das Player 2, thank you for all the donation of your bits last week during chat. So we're super excited about you guys jumping on board. Also, Harry in Reverse followed us last week as well, so thank you guys so much for jumping on board and joining us in this wonderful adventure through Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Storm King's Thunder. So just a quick recap from last week. Here, I'm going to take you guys over to our players so you guys can say hello. There we go. There's everybody.
Hi.
Very nice, Matthew. That was wonderful.
That was very slothish.
You guys will notice that Ashlyn, Sarah, is not with us tonight. She couldn't be here, but we will continue on tonight as with Ashlyn in a limited role this evening, as I will try not to destroy her character any more than I did the first night that we met her. She plays her a lot better than I can anyway, so.
It should be.
And if you don't already, I know that Molfin has a Twitter account, so you need to make sure you go check out Molfin's Twitter account. And Ashlyn also has a Twitter account now too. And the stuff that Ashlyn posts is absolutely hilarious already. So you need to go check it out. I can't remember her tag. I think it's like Ashlyn Elf 111.
Ashlyn Elf 111. Yeah,
that's it. Ashlyn Elf 111. So
or if you find at Molfin Green East at Twitter. He's been going back and forth with Ashlyn recently, so two of them sort of feed off each other. It's amusing.
Excellent.
You're making me debate giving Kallista a Twitter. Not sure how well that will go.
I think that would be highly entertaining, and you should do it.
Oh my god.
Especially if we start getting group tweets going
God.
on. It's just...
Shade.
Yeah.
All the shade.
Yeah, all the shade thrown around. Yeah, like Friday night is just not enough shade. We need more.
Nope.
So thank you, Josh, for coming and hang out with us tonight. Those of you that are hanging out and watching us in Twitch chat, make sure you stay active in that Twitch chat. We love to hear what you guys have to say about the stream. Sometimes there will be opportunities for you guys to jump in and interact a little bit. Tonight, I'm actually going to throw out a viewer challenge tonight. We have a bit goal posted up there tonight. We met our bit goal last week thanks to DOS Player 2. So we have a new bit goal tonight, and if we reach, I think it's maybe 200 bits, so that's like $1 or $2 or something like that, Twitch money. I don't know how all that works. But if you get to the top, if we fill up that bit goal tonight, basically our Twitch chat is going to decide on someone to get a free nat 20 for the night. So our Twitch chat is going to help us to provide that. Also want to remind you that Molfin and Diana have the nat 20s for tonight, and I also awarded myself a nat 1 for the terrible comment I made to Diana about throwing her baby griffin into the mouth of the Rimmerhaz so she could get away. I went back and I re-listened to that, and I was like, that is a crappy DM move right there. I deserve to eat it for that. So I gave myself a nat 1. So I will need to use that at some point if at some point during the evening. So thank you guys for tuning in. A quick recap from last week. Our party was continuing to travel from they left Hundlestone on their way south. Meaning to head down, as far, I guess our party's goal was Waterdeep at this point. I think that's what everybody settled on. Just trying to get as far south as they could, making their way back to where they basically started from. After about a day's travel, they ran into a group of elk. One of them had a set of golden antlers. So Kallista quickly jumped on the hunt, and as a dire wolf was able to tackle down one of these elk, but in the process kind of alerting the party that there was actually something that was hunting them as well. And this large young Rimmerhaz busted through the ground right beside Diana and started wreaking havoc on our party. And the party, took a little bit of hit. They took a hit. I mean, it wasn't pretty for some of our members of our party, especially Saarvin, the king of the Frozen Fire. He took quite a bit of damage. I think Diana herself took quite a bit of damage in that battle. But thanks to Ilmater, Diana was able to keep everybody afloat, and the party was able to defeat the Rimmerhaz and continue to move on in their adventure. Ending with a night on the watch, talking to the King of the Frozen Far, who ended up convincing the party that it was probably a good idea to go to Fireshear to maybe see what these baby griffins, or maybe training and riding griffins, might have in store for our party, as he knows a friend near Fireshear that can show the party how to train them how to ride these magical creatures. And that brings us up to tonight's episode 25. Those of you that have been jumping on Twitter, this is kind of our Valentine's Day themed episode. As you'll see most of the back and forth chatter that Molfin and Lachlan and the rest of the group had on Twitter, and Diana. I enjoyed those comments that everybody kind of chimed in with us on Twitter, so that was really cool. But so the story is told. You guys, Ashlyn and Diana were the last to take watch, and they kind of awaken in the morning. It's the first glimmer of sunlight that rises over the horizon of this. You guys are coming down out of the mountains, so the mountains aren't as tall in the area that you're staying at. And Saarvin had mentioned to you guys before that you're probably, only half a day away from basically this intersection where you guys can decide to go to Fireshear, which is kind of the southwest, or you can head towards Luskin, which is the southeast direction. So as you guys are waking up, the adventure is yours.
Lachlan, you have to be so loud.
Sorry, Gramps.
It's too early in the morning for this.
Oh, it's a bright day. Anything could happen.
Hopefully not another one of those dreadful, strange creatures.
That was pretty terrifying.
It was... got out of it without a single scratch on me.
Not bad, not bad.
I think Kallista's shaking her head hearing all this conversation.
It must have been nice to only get a single scratch. It
Yeah.
must have been nice.
So nice.
You know, us gnomes are just suited for combat, I guess. You know, it's sort of in the blood.
I found it shocking how much damage the lady took during the battle.
Yeah, well, it popped up right next to me, and the only person who could, protect me decided to fly up above it. So, I took a hit. Molfin.
Gramps, I think she's talking about you.
While Cleo is eating, I'm setting up the horses. I'm ignoring this.
I feed my
exchange.
baby as well. I feed my son.
She
There's
must be
a
speaking
Ton
about
of meat.
King of the Frozen Var. He went running off very quickly.
Yeah.
Josh says nothing more romantic than surviving a fire mega roach attack.
Ew.
So good.
Valentine's Day.
Mental Awareness Day. Correction.
Yeah, there it is. You guys, as you guys are kind of waking up and packing up your gear, having this conversation, reminiscing about the day before, and kind of arguing about the different tactics that everybody took against this beast, you hear faint weeping in the background,
Oh,
and
no.
kind of stealthily but quickly approaching you is Saarvin. And he comes up to the group collectively, kind of huddling you guys together, and he's like, look, I just wanted to tell you that I think the old one has expired.
I will go over.
What? I go over. I go over as well immediately.
Yeah, you guys are seeing like inside this small tent. You can hear the weeping coming from inside, and it definitely sounds like the younger male halfling that was traveling with you, Jolin.
Yeah. Oh no. I'll approach very quietly and
So Diana kind of pulls the tent open and just kind of comes inside and sees that Jolin is there, just kind of like sobbing as he's holding on to this older halfling, kind of, just laying down kind of on his lap, and he's just like looking down at the older halfling, tears running down his face.
I kind of want to just put my hand very comfortingly on his back and ask as respectfully as possible, how long has he been gone?
He's just crying. He just looks up at you. It's maybe, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. He started to get really bad in the evening. I don't know.
God. Hey, it's going to be okay. We're gonna, I don't know. I might be able to do something. Don't get your hopes up. Just, sorry.
Don't get your hopes
Don't
up.
get your hopes up. It's like your surgeon says that to you.
Ouch.
Well, maybe you'll live, maybe you won't. We'll roll the dice and see what happens.
That's the kind of cleric Diana is. Yeah. Yeah, no hopes whatsoever. He did. I have nothing.
Diana, if you want to, you can make a medicine check if you'd like to just kind of inspect the situation.
Okay. Medicine.
Oh yeah. He was old, and this the being kidnapped by the orcs and being put through all the you have no idea even how much travel he's been put through, being drug around by a crudely tied hempen rope around his neck, being drug around at his old age. Just finally did him in. And all the excitement from yesterday, the young Remmerhaz attack and everything that's been going on, you don't think there's anything that you can do. You think that it was kind of just his time to move on.
Okay, I'll put my hand on his back and I'll be like, it's all part of the cycle. It's gonna be okay. It will get better over time. You're just, it hurts real bad right now, but you're gonna learn to live with it. I don't know. This is really bad.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, you can. Please do.
Mine's not gonna be much better, but okay.
You're gonna learn to live with it.
I'm sorry to be the one to ask this, but what do you want to do with the body?
Oh,
Do you want to bring it with us, or would you prefer to have me make a burial here?
one second.
He kind of starts to wipe some tears away from his eyes. He's like, "Well, I think, I think I would rather take him with us."
Okay. I want to try and drag the body out of the tent.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, you don't really have much problem with it. He kind of even helps you a little bit. Pull it out of the tent. And Lachlan and Molfin, you can see Kallista and this little Jolin Orange Peel taking the body of Pimsner Orange Peel out of the tent into the snowy ground.
I kind of want to use my druid craft and kind of do some vines and flowers around his body to just keep it secure, but also presentable so it's not so jarring to look at.
Okay, cool. Yeah. What kind of what color flowers and things like that are you putting all around this?
I was thinking forget-me-nots.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. So
And
yeah,
just vines wrapping around from his ankles all the way up, and then in between the vines, there's small little forget-me-nots going up and around his body.
awesome. Yeah, you have no problem doing that. Kind of like a mummy wrap of vines that
Right,
are, that are
yeah.
kind of wrapping up the body.
Just so it's not so jarring to see his dead face, his dead body. It's probably a lot for him. So I'm just thinking something to kind of ease him a bit.
Jolin's still crying, but he kind of looks at he kind of reaches down and touches one of the flowers. Oh, this is beautiful. This is, he's still struggling to fight back the tears a little bit
And I will get him to help me put it on the back of the toboggan, or
Okay.
however he wants to hold it, or keep it near him. I'm
Oh, yeah.
assuming on the toboggan.
Oh yeah. He helps you kind of carry it over there, and he kind of basically is the same position you guys found him in. He's kind of has the upper torso of Pimsner's body, kind of vine wrapped, but he's sitting on his lap, kind of just sitting there, and he continues to kind of cry and sob a little bit. Not really doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk too much about it. He just wants to kind of sit.
I'll just kind of pat him on the shoulder and then kind of look at everybody, not saying anything, but giving everyone the look of just shut up and get on the horses. Let's go.
Gotcha.
Molfin is going to listen and get onto the horses.
Cool.
Nice.
You guys think
I
there's an inheritance
those
to worry
portents.
about here?
Wow, look at those portents. Yeah, I was gonna say 20
Ooh.
and 2.
Here's the question. Does a nat 20 roll on a portent count as a nat 20?
I mean, is that how it works? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Oh.
How's the
I'd
ruling on
assume
that?
so.
I would assume so as well.
It just says you can...
That's a good question. Dig up the ruling on that if you can. That's a good point.
Yeah, it just says you can replace any attack, saving, or ability check with one of these foretelling rolls.
If it says
You must
attack,
choose-
then I would
so-
assume that's a
Yep.
crit. Yeah. Nice. There you go.
2 nat
Two nat
20s to
one.
use tonight.
He's got 2 saved up right now.
Jeez.
Awesome. Well, that's only for a day, right? That only lasts for a day.
Right,
Yeah.
so
until you have
that's going to be
another long
used
rest.
today.
Yeah. Cool.
We're all gonna
Excellent.
get hit by a sleep spell and wake up tomorrow.
So Kallista helps to kind of preserve and kind of hide this body of Pimsner Orange Peel as he has expired probably within the last hour or two during the night, just from old age and just all the trauma that has happened on this journey. What was only supposed to be basically just a caravan up north to trade from their melon farm that they have, turned into a big mess this time, and seems to have a very big impact on Jolan as he is just back there kind of sobbing to himself very quietly, and everybody else starts to make their way onto the backs of their horse saddles to get ready to head on, continuing south. And you guys continue on, and as you do so, I would like for let's have Molfin and Lachlan lead us off with 2 simple regular D20 rolls.
Okay.
Can I do perception checks while we're going?
Yes, you may.
3.
Right.
While we're going, Molfin is going to, as quietly as possible, lean over to Kallista, assuming that we're keeping
We're side by side, yeah.
Right, it's keeping the way the horses are set up for the toboggan. Just sort of lean over. Kallista, are we taking the remains to attempt some sort of arcane or divine ritual to return this person to life?
No, I don't think that's how it works. When it's a natural cause of death like this, that's it. It's natural.
Mayhap for the divine, but there must be an arcane method.
Maybe.
You can make a check, Molfin. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Okay. You have read some books. That's so you have some little bit of background knowledge on this that you can. You could possibly find a way to bring Pimsner back, but he probably wouldn't be Pimsner.
Yeah, that's what Callista's thinking. Like, this is as natural as it gets.
Like,
she's
it will
a druid,
be-
she doesn't want to...
Yeah, it will be his body, but it's not going to have his soul in
yeah.
it, probably.
Yeah.
And Kallista would be totally not up for that, anything like
No.
that, probably. So.
No, not when it's this natural. Like, no.
Diana probably not so much either.
Well,
And especially if
have
we're
to
dealing
change
with the
my
Raven
name to
Queen.
Frankenstein.
So yeah, you have a little background knowledge of it, but you've never actually done something like that before. I mean, you've read about it and heard about it, and you've got some books in your vast library at home, but you haven't ever dabbled in it yourself. So
It may be something to look into. Options, my dear, options.
Hearing that and then knowing that there's a dead body behind us, she's going to light up her pipe and have a smoke. She's stressed. She's like, too much for this. It's too early for this.
So you guys can all smell the fresh aroma from the pipe of Kallista as you guys are headed back down the mountains, and eventually you come to an intersection,
Mm-hmm.
and the road either goes straight or it makes an abrupt left turn. And you can see that there's a wooden post in the corner that has these arrows that kind of point in different directions. The one arrow, actually, there's one that kind of points straight to the southwest. That not only it has 2 arrows, one that says Iron Master and Fireshear that are pointing in the same direction. and you see another arrow that's pointing to that road that leads more so to the southeast that says Luskin on it. And you've reached an intersection here in the trail. And you guys, probably Diana has the highest passive insight out of all of you. Yeah, with a 17. Diana, you notice that the closer that you've gotten to this intersection during the last couple of hours of travel, the more, I don't know, the stranger Saarvin, the king of the Frozen Forest, seems to be behaving, and he's quieter than he usually is.
This is nice.
Marvin.
Lachlan, this is nice.
Saarvin, if I could just pull you aside for a moment.
He's still on the toboggan behind you guys going, what?
I'll drop back a little bit, and I'll just kind of be like, is everything all right with you?
Are you still on your horse?
I am indeed.
Okay.
And
He's
just dropped back a little bit.
He's kind of just sliding on his toboggan back there while the whimpering Jolin is in front of him with his vine-wrapped dead father.
Oh my God.
he's kind of like, oh, well then, no, I'm fine. I mean, come on. Someone who climbed the tallest peak of the spine of the world? Seriously, come on. Someone who pulled the eye out of a beholder. Me?
Yes, I know,
It-
but...
just like that, it went right out of there.
Are you certain that there isn't anything that you might be nervous about going back to your hometown?
Make an insight check, Diana.
Insight. I'm proficient, and I still fail. Ha.
Yeah, no, actually, that
No, it's an 18.
that's good. That's an
right.
18. That's good.
We're still with us.
No, not one bit. Well, maybe, maybe it was a bad idea. Maybe I should just take you to Luskin. You were headed south, correct? I could take you to Luskin. It'd be no problem.
Excuse me, but what is going on? Why all of a sudden now Fireshear is bad? You spent so long trying to get us there. What have you done?
Oh, Diana. Oh! I almost forgot, Diana. And he kind of starts fumbling around in his cloak, and he's like, oh, I was going to wait till we stopped, but here. And he holds out, and he tries to hold it out to you from the toboggan up to the horse.
Kallista's keeping the straight line to Fireshear. She's ignoring this.
He holds up, and it's a little wooden miniature of you in his hand, and it's a really brilliantly carved, beautifully carved rendition of you. And he
I'll take
basically
it.
hands out to you. Just I worked on that last night before I drifted off to sleep.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll look at it, and I'll throw it over my shoulder.
Oh!
I don't do tokens of affection anymore.
Oh!
So you're gonna have to find something else. Tell me what's going on.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay.
I'm so proud right now.
Thanks, Kallista.
I put 5 hours of work into that, and you just
Kallista's savage.
you just threw it away like it was nothing. I like that.
Yes.
Where's the invisible Cupid?
That was vicious.
Now.
Saarvin just seems a little shocked and surprised, and then he has a little bit of a glimmer of I don't know, disconcernment or something in his face as this all happens, and he looks towards you, Diana. He's like, well, I must be honest. I'm not everyone's favorite in Fireshear. I'm just
Not everyone's favorite how.
well. See, I had some conflict with some of the ruling parties in Fireshear.
Conflict like legal conflict?
Well, you could
Like conflict that get us locked up?
not you, possibly me, but not you. You would be fine. It just would be me. I'm trying to do you a favor. I'm trying to get you help with these wonderful baby griffins that you have. I just feel like I may be able to get you there, but maybe just hide outside of town, or maybe find another route to Dasharra's residence. What?
What were your crimes?
Well, I was merely trying to help. You see,
Help
there
how?
are these 3 powerful entities that live in Fireshear. They kind of control the trading agreements and arrangements that happen. They work for different trading companies from various cities around the north. See, they're in charge, and they make the rules, and they decide what happens. Well, I discovered one time that they are easily bribed by other members of the mining community in Fireshear, and I felt that it was wrong, and I stood up for those who are less fortunate. Thus, I am not liked.
Okay, I want to insight him.
Absolutely, go ahead.
I got a 14.
As far as you can tell, he's being honest with you. Everything seems to be... He doesn't really seem like he's lying to you.
I'll soften up a little bit. I mean, that is a very good and noble thing to have done, and your help is very greatly appreciated. I don't know, I don't think that what you did was wrong, and if the laws of the land are unjust to the people of the land, then they're not lawful laws and shouldn't really exist, you know what I'm saying? But, also, pay your taxes and crap, because that, thing.
Life advice from Diana.
I don't know,
the idea of charity and goodness.
Charity and goodness. If you haven't watched episode 24, check it out on YouTube. It's great.
God is charity and goodness. I do good things with my
Destruction of
powers. I don't
retail.
sex shops. I suppose we can conceal you or just not let them know that you're there, but I want to warn you, I'm not a very good liar, so I'm going to let Kallista in on this, and she can lie, because she's better at that. And Lachlan can lie, because Lachlan's really better at that.
Well, it's really fine. I trust all of you, and I've seen what you can do. And Lachlan the Legendary is just amazing. I mean, he can do some things that it just blows me away.
Have you heard of Diana the
Divine?
Delirious?
Diana the Divine?
Kallista kind of chimes in as you're saying this. She's like, "Divine." And so Saarvin's kind of like looking back and forth. He's, Diana the Divine, really?
Oh yes, quite powerful, quite incredible, actually. I don't mean to brag, but I'm like kind of chosen,
Really? You are chosen? Chosen by whom?
Chosen by Ilmater, the god of charity and goodness, all of that jazz. I kind of have powers.
I saw some of those powers yesterday. Pretty amazing, Diana the Divine.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Indeed.
the sound of that. It's excellent. Maybe sounds like a great name for a captain of a king's army. It's always great it's great to have the gods on the side of a king.
I think that I'm better suited with my own kingdom, thank you.
Well, maybe you change your mind in the future.
Everyone gets free healthcare.
Saarvin's confused by that statement. He's just riding on the toboggan with a very confused look on his face now. He's like, healthcare.
Like,
Maybe someday in Faerun.
Oh my god. Don't even get us started on the king, please.
So you guys continue, and as you're passing this intersection, you guys notice that there is a caravan. It's kind of stopped along the 10 trail on the other side of the intersection. It seems like they're getting ready to... it seems like maybe they were stopping to give the horses a rest. It's kind of a large caravan, several carriages. It looks like several wagons that have a lot of different crates and wooden barrels kind of piled up on the backs of these different wagons and things. You do notice there's a lot of horses and things pulling these people and travelers. You also notice that there are several guards with this caravan that are kind of like hanging out. Some of them are leaning up against the wagons, things like that, as you guys are headed near them.
Is there any distinguishing marks on the guards?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I'm gonna take my cloak off because I don't know. It's like I don't have a cloak, but I have a fabric. I'm gonna take it off and just put it over what's his face.
Oh, I'm making sure my cloak is really low over my face.
Kallista, you can kind of check out these. Most of them look like paid mercenaries, from what your experience is with running into caravans on your travels. You do notice that one of them, in particular, maybe about the third caravan back, has on a... looks like a... it's like this band that's tied around his upper arm, and it's black, and has this golden symbol of a flying snake on it.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
But you know from your experience with these people that sometimes they can be paid enough money to just be a mercenary or just be a guard for anyone who's willing to give them enough coin. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're evil or vicious, but if somebody pays them out to be a guard, they'll be a guard. But you do recognize the logo.
Is he the only one with the logo?
From what you can see, yeah. Looks like a pretty strong, brute guy with, short,
I'm just
dark
gonna
hair.
keep the horses going, and I'm not... I want to, as I'm passing the guard, I want to make a better check of him to see if he's anyone I recognize from before.
Okay.
Do I see them as well?
You can make a perception check if you want to, Diana. Anybody who
Okay.
wants to make perception checks can.
As
Wow.
Kallista's steering us by, Molfin is just going to reach out and start talking to somebody as they ride by.
Okay. You kind of, it seems like there's someone that's kind of just brushing a horse and kind of getting it prepped up, kind of tightening the reins a little bit. And it's just kind of like a human man as he kind of turns around and catches your gaze.
Oh, there, sir. Just wanted to check. What is the status of the road ahead? Well, behind from your perspective.
Well, from the most part, it was pretty clear up to this point. Must say we've been getting a lot of warnings lately that the giants have been on a rampage all across the north. But so far things have been pretty easy. All things considered. It's cold as hell out here, but we're good.
It tends to be that way from what I'm told up here. Just wanted to check on the road ahead and make sure there were no problems.
Oh, yeah, it's simple.
Where are you guys heading?
We left Iron Master about 3 days ago with a shipment of goods we're taking back down south.
Okay.
Well, enjoy heading for the warmer weather.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. He kind of looks back at the toboggan. He's like, "What? What happened there?
We had an unfortunate incident. An elderly gentleman has passed, and we are bringing him back for proper ceremony.
Bringing him back where?
None of your business.
To my knowledge, to his home, but this is where he was asked to deliver him to, so we are doing the neighborly thing and bringing him.
Well, well, if you want, we're headed that way now. I mean, we have room in this
We're fine.
caravan. We could take the two with us
No.
if you'd like us to.
We're good.
Is it our
Let's
decision
just
to
keep
make,
it
Kallista?
going.
Callista's just
Callista's-
Apparently she's not stopping, so-
the toboggan is kind of starting to tilt sideways as one horse is dragging it, and the other one's kind of stopped. Like having this
Molfin is just going to be like, she's not stopping. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Be safe. Be safe. Goodbye.
Diana's gonna stop really fast and be like, "Thank you for the offer. It's very, 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 very sweet, but we're gonna go. Bye."
Be careful. And he just kind of waves at you guys as you guys are headed. Looks like he's finished doing whatever he needs to do, and seems like they're kind of getting things packed up together after their break and about ready to head back down onto the road. And you guys,
They could have had more
As
information
I
for
was
us.
passing, did I recognize the flying snake dude?
no,
Zhentarim?
you've never seen him
Okay.
before.
I
You
still
see
don't
I-
trust. No.
Yeah, Diana, you don't even recognize the logo. You kind of just you were distracted by this person that Molfin was talking to and didn't really have any conversation whatsoever, or
Yeah.
really didn't.
Well, Lachlan. Does Lachlan see him?
Oh, probably.
Lachlan, he made the check with advantage because of his status. Yeah, you noticed him, Lachlan. You noticed the logo, but you don't recognize him. You've never met him before. So.
What were you asking, Molfin?
He could have had useful information for us. Why are you always so impatient?
Not impatient. I'm guarded.
So I recognize the logo.
Oh yeah, Lachlan, you recognize the logo. It looks very familiar to you.
Yeah. As they're kind of charging ahead, I'm gonna on my horse fall back a little.
Okay.
Oh
I
no.
was just gonna say I was gonna look for Lachlan because I know that he's gonna recognize that.
Okay, you doing that? You trying to be stealthy about it and hide it from the rest of
Sure.
your party? Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check, Lachlan, and Kallista, if you want to make a.
Go ahead and have a nat 20, Lachlan.
Oh yeah.
So
What is it? Perception?
Lachlan is using, or
'Cause I'm
Molfin is
looking
using
for
his
him?
portent for a nat 20. Wait, so a nat 20
Yeah,
plus
no.
10?
I don't see shit.
So you would have a 37, and Kallista, you are
Nope.
you are
Lachlan is gone.
basically what happens is, your horse
I
is like
looked the
way
wrong way.
way ahead of Molfin, and you can hear Saarvin and the halfling are like you're just trying to hold on to the to this thing, and you're just kind of like looking at them, kind of fumbling around, trying to glance over at where Lachlan is, and you just lose him in the midst of all this chaos.
Damn it.
So Lachlan, you drift back to this individual, and as you get closer, you realize that this person is a half orc.
Ooh.
Um,
I want to slip my ring on.
okay.
The hand that's gonna be closer to him as I kind of get close, just very subtly.
You see him kind of just doesn't really look at you much as you're kind of walking by. He's got a big kind of a great sword over his back. Some crude armor that he's wearing with these big kind of animal skin, animal fur cloak that he's wearing to keep himself warm.
All right. With my ringed hand, I want to kind of raise it and ahoy!
Okay, he waves his hand, and you can see that he has a similar ring on his finger. It's like, hello.
Huh. You all look busy over there. Any rumors around these parts?
Not much. I've been spending some time in Ironmaster and just got some work to help this caravan back south.
Work. Nice. You heard of any weevil infestations around the region?
The weevil? Haven't heard anything, no.
Same.
You keep your eyes and ears peeled, my friend.
I will. Where are you headed?
Oh, we're headed back down to Neverwinter.
Oh, back to Neverwinter.
This caravan had a shipment of goods to deliver up here north and made their trades and their money, and now they're headed back down with the items that they got from up here in the north from Ironmaster.
Business is a good thing.
It is.
Did you pass by Fireshear at all?
No, our trail didn't lead us through Fireshear. Actually, a day farther down, you'll run into another intersection. The Iron Trail leads up to Ironmaster. Well, if you continue south, you'll run into Fireshear.
Got it. Good to know. Well,
what about
safe out there.
what about you? How's the road ahead?
We're just doing our thing.
I heard the giants have gone crazy. Is it true?
I've heard some things about giants. Heard the world's upside down right now.
Have you seen any combat with them?
I mean, who hasn't fought a giant at least once, right?
I haven't yet. Oh,
you need to get out there and look for one. You look like you could take one.
Oh, I've been wanting to so bad. Oh. And he kind of like puts a fist in his hand. He's like, I just dare him to attack this caravan while I'm on guard.
Oh, I bet my money on you, not the giant.
I want to put one in a headlock. You know, like one of these.
Yeah, and then you gotta give him the nuggies.
Just pounding them like this. And just.
Oh, yeah, well, that too. That could be a thing. I hoping for the best for you there, buddy.
Yeah, well, you be safe now.
Will do. Have safe travels on the road.
Will do. Be
I
careful.
know.
And he just kind
Sort
of
of-
sees that the caravan's starting to move. He's like, "Oh, I better get going.
Same.
If you see any giants, send them my way."
Who should I tell them to go see?
Why do you always do this to me? Why do you guys always do this to me? You always do.
You gave us a flying snake. What did you expect?
Tell him Dench is waiting for them.
Dench. All right,
Dench.
Dench.
And Saarvin, for some reason, out of the blue, heard him say Dench from way up ahead, and it's like, Dench the Destroyer! And then he drifts off in the distance as Kallista keeps on pulling him away. And you guys continue to head as you pass this caravan. Diana and Kallista, go ahead and make me a simple D20 roll for me as you guys continue. Okay.
So numbers for these rolls.
Yeah, very low
I know.
numbers. Yeah, so you guys make it another day's travel. And I'm going to go ahead and you guys are kind of able to move a little bit farther because of coming out of the mountains. It's not as difficult to travel anymore. It's still cold, still icy, rocky at points, but not as mountainous, not as many inclines for the horses to just kind of dodge around and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal some more of this road south. As you guys continue to head on this road, you pass this intersection, and eventually, before the end of the day, you guys actually, as you're getting near where you would think it would be a good place to camp, you see there's another intersection. This time the trail heads to the right, and you can see that there is a signpost that says Iron Master that leads to the north. the
That must be
Fireshear
the failed Iron Master.
and the Fireshear sign kind of just keeps you going straight along the path. And
I'm gonna say we're gonna keep going towards Fireshear a little bit and find a good place to camp.
okay, and you do that without any problem whatsoever. Finding a better place, a place to camp. Still icy and snowy. You can feel that you guys are coming out of the mountains, the incline, the just the. You guys aren't as high anymore. You guys are coming out of these mountains, and the pressure is relieved from just being so high within the spine of the world. And you come to a place right before dark, and you set up camp. And who wants to take the first watch for us?
Molfin's got it.
All right. Anybody for second?
I can take second.
Okay.
I'll take third.
All right. Lachlan's bringing up the rear with the fourth.
Sure. I'll do fourth.
You guys can all do perception checks for the night.
You do?
Aye. Uh-oh. Sorry.
We will get killed on Lachlan's turn. And maybe mine.
Honestly, as you guys are basically making your way up to watch, if this night kind of passes without incident, if you guys had anything particular in mind that you wanted to do this evening, you can let me know. But other than that, it'd be kind of like a normal night. Saarvin sitting by the fire carving, talking a little bit less than he normally does.
Oh.
But still kind of communicating a little bit. Jolin the halfling kind of retires to his tent. Doesn't really want to have too much conversation. Just kind of trying to. He's still mourning the loss of Pimsner.
The only thing Molfin would like to try to do, I've got a set of common clothes that are in my pack.
Mm-hmm.
Want to take out like the whatever sort of top shirt or type thing that it is, and try to fashion some sort of like mask type thing.
Okay.
Like when you turn a
What?
t-shirt into a ninja mask?
That type of idea, yes. For Saarvin.
For Saarvin. Do you happen to have like leather working tools or anything like that, Molfin?
Nope. I have a couple of daggers, some steel shoes.
Let's go ahead and make a boy. What would this be? Would it be like maybe a dexterity check with disadvantage?
Okay. Let's see, where's Dex is not my strength, but
I like when you guys come up with things that I have no idea how to rule it.
You've gotten 3
Whoa.
Wow,
There's
I'm impressed. Molfin's got these daggers out, and he's cutting up this shirt. And
Does Molfin have identify?
yes.
Can I ask you to check something for me before
Sure.
I go to bed?
This
I
thing on
have
my shoulder.
I have a flask with unknown blue liquid in it, and I don't know what it is. We've never checked. Does DM remember?
that depends. When did you find it?
I don't even know. It's like pretty high up in my inventory, so probably a while ago.
Probably a while ago.
Mhm.
Blue liquid. Let us see. It's water. No.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's
So
Gatorade.
let's get some Gatorade. Yeah.
Ooh, yes, I say blue.
Blue liquid. Molfin, are you trying to identify it?
Oh, I'm assuming I'll have done that before she turned in, before I started making
Yeah, before I went. Yeah.
my Saarvin face helmet.
Da, 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 da. Interesting.
So, Welcome along to all our wonderful viewers. Josh, Kepler, a
Hello.
couple of people I saw pop in there.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight as I dig through the Dungeon Master's guide here.
Mwah.
That also has an agenda, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, okay. I think I found it. So, are you using a ritual, or are you just going ahead and casting it, Molfin?
And just burning the spells.
That's right,
Actually, I have to do a ritual. I don't have it prepared. So yeah, I got to do the ritual version.
Okay, yeah. So you take your 10 minutes. Say your incantations, reading through your spell book as you prepare. You find out that this is a potion of heroism.
Whoa.
Basically, for 1 hour after drinking it, you gain 10 temporary hit points that last for 1 hour. And for the same duration, you are under the effect of the Bless spell, no concentration required. So basically, you get an extra D4 onto, I think it's attacks and skill checks.
Oh.
And
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
you gain 10 temporary hit points for
This is what
1 hour.
Moby gave Kallista while we were fighting the giants, but as a spell.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
Had my t-shirt ninja mask come out.
It actually came out really good. All things considered, you have really not having much skill in doing something like this. It actually doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's not exactly what you pictured in your mind, Molfin. You know, you always think of it, it's going to turn out this awesome, and you made a couple errors on it, but it's not too bad. You know, you think it looked pretty good on Saarvin.
Is Saarvin awake?
Saarvin is. He's continuing to carve by the fire.
Molfin's just going to walk over and... King Frozenfall, you've expressed an interest, well, a concern about your travels in Fireshear. I'm not exactly skilled in this, but perhaps this could be used to better hide your identity if you wish.
He kind of looks at it and he's like,
Hands it over to.
well, that's a great idea. I hadn't thought of that myself. Let me see. And he takes it and he kind of starts to strap it on his face, and he looks at Teenage Mutant Ninja Dragonborn. As he puts,
There's the name of our episode this week, folks.
as he puts it on, he's like, "Well, what do you think? How do I look?"
Stunning.
Very distinguished. And if I did not know I was speaking with you, I would have no clue who you are.
Well, it seems the King of the Frozen Far has just upgraded a little.
Forgive me, I must take my leave and finish my watch.
And as you're kind of like walking away from him, kind of like walking around the fire, you can kind of hear him say under his breath, "Well, Lachlan the Legendary doesn't have anything like this." Kind of. As he continues to carve.
Down a peg.
Down a peg. So yeah, the way you kind of carved it, if you think about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the way it kind of covers their whole head at the top,
Okay.
that's the way it kind of looks over him. Like you can still see Dragonborn down here at the bottom, but it kind of covers the top of his head, so he doesn't.
It's like the Princess Bride.
yeah, the Princess Bride. There you go.
There you
That's
go.
it. So the
Yes.
evening seems to pass. You guys are able to, Kallista, you're able to identify that potion thanks to Molfin. Molfin's able to kind of craft this quick mask for Saarvin, and you guys all wake up for another day. Oh, did you
Diana
want
had
something,
something.
Diana? Go ahead.
No, the moment's passed. It's okay. Bye.
Oh, no,
No, what happened?
We rewound. It's all good.
Okay.
Retcon.
Yep. We just make it happen. It's done.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of wanted to just apologize to Saarvin. That was my agenda.
Okay. Yeah. Saarvin, as you walk up to him, he looks really confident, wearing he's wearing this new mask that he's got on. And he looks real confident. He's kind of almost, he's just kind of walking around confidently under the fire. He kind of stopped carving his wooden totem a little bit, and he's just walking around. Sometimes he pulls out a short sword and pretends he's fighting air, and then like puts it back.
I am going to take Zulkin's stone out of its hiding place that nobody knows but me, and then I'll tell the DM later. I'll take it out of its hiding place.
Okay.
And I'll just be like, Saarvin.
Diana.
Diana the Divine, thank you.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry, Diana the Divine. Yes. What is it? What do you need?
I wanted to apologize for my hurt behavior before. I feel like I needed to explain. This is just the reason I don't do tokens of affection anymore, and I hold up the stone, and I'm like, just a very, yeah, the reason.
That looks like a mighty precious gem you have there in your hands.
Yes, you would think. It's more like a very bitter reminder, very sad memory of when someone is too naive and a child and, I don't know, trusts the whole world. So that's why I threw away your carving of me. It was very cute. I just couldn't accept it.
Well, I must be completely honest with you, Diana. You see, well, I've been working on another one for you. And he kind of picks up the carving that he's been working on, and it's pretty much the exact same thing that you threw over your shoulder the day before. and he looks at you, and he puts a hand on your shoulder, and he's just like, I just want you to know, Diana, that there are people here that you can trust.
I know.
You do have.
No, go ahead.
You do have friends. Friends like me who have this excellent mask on. That another friend had made for me out of the kindness of their heart. And he kind of holds out this little miniature and hopes that you will take it from him. He's just like holding it out as he has his hand on your shoulder.
I grab it and I look at it, kind of sad, and I throw it in the fire. Saarvin!
He kind of looks, he's like, oh!
Saarvin! So proud! I don't know how I could be any more clear. I do not do gifts anymore.
He's shocked and stunned as he's watching this wooden miniature start to catch flame in the fire. It just, and the fire starts to ignite just a little bit more as the wood of this little trinket starts to catch. Oh, my goodness. You definitely need to be in my army.
Oh my god, okay. I understand that I have friends, Saarvin, and I do trust these friends that I have, but I'm not interested in making any new ones right now. That's what I'm saying. Kallista, Lachlan, Molfin, Moby, those are my people now. Ashlyn, especially, those are my people. And, excuse me, a telepathic message just came through. That phone went off.
Oh, Mater's talking to me. Sorry, got distracted.
Wait, hang on. Oh, Mater? Yes? Okay. Sorry. I'm not looking for any new friends. That's all. Oh, yeah.
Fair enough, Diana, the Divine. I'll just go over here. And he starts to just walk off, and you see his shoulders kind of shrug a little bit as he's just kind of unsure of how to handle this situation himself. I don't think the King of the Frozen Far has battled anything this extensively in his life. So he kind of just like shrugs off, and he kind of disappears out of the firelight as he kind of just kind of walks away.
Oh no! Did I just make Saarvin run away? I'm so terrible.
Molfin's rolling initiative.
I was clicking the wrong button.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Saarvin just kind of walks away. You can hear the crumple of his feet through the snow, but it's not like a fast paced like runaway. It's just kind of like he's just walking off to just maybe take some time off by himself.
Oh, and that is all. I stay on my watch, very sad because I feel bad for hurting his feelings, but it needed to be done, and I'll put my little gem back in its be kind to the Dragonborn elevator. I am. But I'm also cautious now.
Oh my goodness, good stuff tonight. Good stuff.
I'm thrown into the fire. Repent and like give 5 gold to an orphan.
So dawn approaches quickly as the day begins. I guess Molfin, you can go ahead and roll your portents for the day. Maybe you'll get as lucky as you did last time. No, not gonna happen.
Oh, man.
It's still pretty good.
I was watching the 3D dice on the screen, and it's on the 20, and it's rocking back and forth.
So as you guys make your get up for the morning, you notice that you wake up to the smell of some nice cooked food over the fire. You can smell the aroma as you awaken. You can also hear what sounds like the tying of ropes and sounds like gear being situated and packed up. And as you guys, some of you coming out of tents and some of you waking up, you can see that Saarvin is kind of hooking up the ropes back up to the toboggan to the horses and things like that. He's kind of getting everything ready. There's a metal a good pot sitting on top of the fire with the lid off of it, kind of just pouring this boiling water that seems to be casting this aroma in your direction.
Kallista's gonna go over to the toboggan and where I assume the body still is.
Yes, toboggan is still has the body on it wrapped up in
She
vines.
wants to put more vines and fasten the body to the toboggan, so even if we crash, it won't fly anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, you have no problem doing that whatsoever. The vines kind of wrap around the wood of the toboggan. Seems to be no problem whatsoever.
Lachlan, is this your cooking?
Don't look at me, Gramps. I want to take my
must
hand and try
watch.
to dip it in whatever's cooking.
Well, Lachlan, you were the last watch. You saw that Saarvin kind of came back about 30 minutes ago, and he started setting up this pot and started putting some different things in there. It looks like meats from some small game and mixed with some vegetables and things like that. So he's kind of stirring up getting this stew ready for everybody. He didn't really he barely talked to you when he came back, Lachlan.
Wow.
Like, this is you've never seen Saarvin like this before.
I breathe a sigh of relief, but I'm also worried.
And immediately after getting this like pot of stew ready, he went and started like getting everything ready for travel. Like, he just started working on things, just keeping himself busy, whatever he can do.
Guy's all business right now.
Impressed that she doesn't have to do it all. Thanks for setting everything up, Saarvin.
It's no problem, Kallista.
It's nice having someone else take initiative.
From time to time, I dabble in keeping myself busy. He just continues to tie ropes and get things ready, packing up his bag.
Can I insight check him?
Sure, yeah. As far as you can tell, he's just maybe because he doesn't sleep much at night, maybe he's just trying to keep himself busy with that.
Hey, Saarvin.
I'll eat and
Oh,
keep-
Lachlan, the legendary.
You been-
Yes.
That's me. You been doing any woodworking lately?
He kinda, he looks out into the distance and well, I started a little something, but I decided to stop.
Well, hope the inspiration comes back to you, you know?
Well, we shall see.
We shall see.
He did give you one, right, Lachlan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Do-
and it's great.
Do you still like yours?
I pull it out of my my pack and I kind of like hold it up. It's beautiful. It really captures my essence.
He kind of just catches the eyes of Diana just for a split second after you say that, and then quickly looks away.
Everyone's eaten. Should we go?
Well, if everyone is prepared, I see no reason to tarry here any longer.
All right.
I'll get on my horse.
So you guys all get packed up and ready to go, and start heading back, and continue to head south along 10 Trail. I need all 4 of you to go ahead and roll a flat D20 for me as you guys are making your way south.
Hey!
Man, everybody with these nice.
Ooh, what even?
Hmm.
I'm also doing perception as well.
Sure, go ahead, Kallista. And
The Fire Nation decides to attack and Molfin survives. Everyone else dies.
and the answer to your question, Diana, is yes. Okay, about 2 hours on the road. Kallista, you spot 2 creatures that are hunched down over kind of just over a little bit of a hill away from you.
Mhm.
Look pretty far away. But you kind of link eyes with one of the creatures. The creature looks like a cat, a large cat
Ooh.
that is kind of this golden brown fur. A larger face than a usual like panther or something else that you've seen before. It has these 2 large protruding fangs that kind of stick outside of the front of its mouth. Go ahead and make an insight check for me, Kallista.
I definitely want to study this thing.
Like Siegfried and Roy stuff going on here.
So you have the feeling that these creatures are hungry, but they're smart enough to know that they're outnumbered by your group that's traveling and are just kind of laying low.
Can I stop my horse and tell everyone else to stop?
Sure.
What?
I'm sorry, guys. This is Kallista. She
Molfin's just still riding.
Molfin's
Stop!
still around. Saarvin's like, oh, not again. This toboggan thing is not working out.
Blame it on the random woman who stopped. Or refused to stop yesterday.
Oh!
What is it, Kallista?
You guys missed out on some really good information running ahead.
Oh, fine. Kallista gets off her horse.
Kallista just gets off the horse. The horse just stands there.
Molfin stops.
I want to take some of the elk meat that I've cooked before.
Okay.
And I want to try and approach, not get too close, but I want to try and toss the meat in their direction.
Okay, go ahead and make an animal handling check with advantage. All right. So you kind of toss this meat towards these two creatures, and one of them starts to kind of slowly make its way towards the meat, but
I'm going to back up a little bit and kind of keep my gaze low, but kind of do like a slow blink
okay. So
as I'm backing up.
as you back away, you notice that each step that you take back, the creature steps forward a little bit more. Seems to want to keep a healthy distance between you and itself. And
Yeah, I'm going to give it as much distance as it needs to get to the meat.
yeah, it comes and within that last 5 feet from when it gets close to the meat, it's kind of almost quickly lunges towards the piece of elk meat and starts to drag it back towards the other creature who is about 15 feet behind, and they start just like kind of munching on it, and the one just kind of will munch a little bit and then kind of picks his head up and looks back to you just to inspect that you're not getting any closer. Just kind of keeping its gaze towards you in between bites, and you get a really good look at these creatures. They're saber-toothed tigers.
Yeah.
Very large
Okay.
cat-like creatures, broad shoulders. Look like they could pack a punch if they were ever had the numbers.
I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And I want to tell them to be safe and steer clear of humanoids. I'm different, but if you see me again, I'll feed you.
You hear, food. Oh, we love food.
I know.
Always hungry.
And I'm going to go back to the horse. Yeah.
As they just kind of continue to devour this elk meat, and you hear the other ones like, "Thank you," as they
You're
just
welcome.
continue to eat.
And I'm going to go back to my horse, and I'm like, okay, we can go.
All right. And you guys continue to head off. The rest of the day seems to go fine. You guys are able to travel south. You guys are actually making really good time, better time than even Saarvin had anticipated. And you guys reach another point where it is time to make camp for the night. So Saarvin kind of helps to kind of get a fire going, and you guys have come pretty far out of the mountains at this point. It's still cold, still windy, but you're kind of on a kind of area that's almost like a tundra now. There is some light foliage and forest around, but a lot of it's kind of been just pounded by these high winds in this area, that some of these areas are kind of cleaned out and just kind of a big empty field at some points. So you do find a place that has some foliage and some trees that you guys are able to use to start a fire, keep yourself warm, and you set up camp for the night. Who would like to do the order of watches tonight?
Molfin will take first again, if no one else wants it.
All right.
I'll take second.
Okay. Diana third. Okay. And Lachlan will bring up the rear again. Fourth. Ashlin's just kind of like caboose. She's just been kind of like hanging out. She's been taking care of Jolin a lot. The halfling, kind of just comforting him in this difficult time. Talking to Saarvin a lot back there, trying to keep conversation moving with Saarvin a little bit. She's noticed too that he's, not as social as he was the first couple of nights on this journey. Is there anything, if you guys want to go ahead and make perception checks, and if there's anything in particular you guys wanted to do during this evening?
Molfin's just going to take a few minutes once everyone's asleep away to spend like 5-10 minutes and examine the gems on the back of the Zolkin dagger.
Okay. Well, what exactly about the gems are you examining?
Like what sort of cut they are, what material are they, things like that.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Okay. Actually, let me pop this in. So is this technically, I believe we know this is a magic item, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I get to add an extra 3 to this.
Okay.
Whoa.
You said investigation. Oh, wait, is it?
You
Oh,
can
no,
go,
history
you
check.
You can make it history if you. Well, this is more like.
Yeah, I don't think history would really fit it.
Yeah, you're kind of going for more of. The way you described it would be more just kind of like investigation.
No worries. Well, 15, not horrible.
It's not horrible. I mean, you. As far as cut, like it's the gems are smooth. So and they're that's,
Like rounded.
Yeah, they're like rounded.
Okay.
Very smooth, and they're teardrop shaped in their form, like the same thing that Diana had before, and what you had smashed, basically, a larger version of the gem. But these are just really small gems. They're nice, smooth to the touch. They glimmer. They have this wonderful radiance to them, especially as you're inspecting them next to the fire, the glimmering firelight. They just glimmer off the fire. Other than that, they're inlaid into this thing with some intricate detail and design. So other than that, there's not really much.
No idea what stones they are.
Oh yeah, you know what stones they are. Yeah.
Okay. Not something I need right now for streamers. Just knowledge. I guess I'll say for DM knowledge, Molfin is probably going to be looking for.
Yeah. Well, you know the one. You've kind of made the connections with the carvings on the back of the dagger that each gem kind of and because you smashed the red one that is no longer there, that used to have Kella's name next to it, that doesn't have Kella's name anymore. Diana's happens to be gold, which I believe is. You know what I'll do is we're going to be taking a break here in about 10 minutes. I'll look up those exact colors and gems, and I'll make sure that I get that information to you on stream. The purple one I know is an amethyst, and that's next.
Kallista has one of those.
And that's next to Avelina is the name that goes with the purple one. I believe the green one is a jade, and that goes with Oriel. The name Oriel. There's an orange one, there's a pink one, but I'm going to have to... Pink might be coral, but I've got to double check that in the book to make sure.
Okay. Feel a shopping trip.
I have a selling trip to start.
Okay, so Molfin's kind of inspecting over this dagger. Yeah, Molfin, while are you kind of doing this, like hiding this, or are you just like sitting next to Saarvin next to the fire, like doing this?
No, trying to do it away from him.
Okay.
Molfin really doesn't want anyone to know how much he's, how interested in this he really is.
Gotcha. Yeah, Saarvin seems to, as you're kind of like wandering around the campsite, Saarvin's sitting there, not carving anything for the first time. He's kind of just munching on some things. He's munching on some rations, just taking time out to kind of relax. And is there anything else anybody wanted to do during their watch?
On my watch,
yeah,
I want to take the button from Moby's teddy bear out of the bag of holding.
Okay.
And just while I'm chilling there, I'm gonna kind of use my mage hand to like practice flipping it, just kind of messing around with him, thinking about. Where Moby is out there in the world and how we miss him.
All right. Yeah, you're able to start flipping this button with your mage hand, and you're doing a pretty good job of it. You're able to kind of catch it and flip back up. You seem to be getting the hang of this. Building up your confidence and your magical abilities that Molfin's been helping you out with lately. Molfin seems to be happy about this. And
I'm proud of Lachlan and I miss Moby.
It's not Lachlan, it's Moby. That's good. Diana and Kallista, anything that you would be doing during your watch in particular? No.
Making sure that the saber-toothed tigers didn't follow us, just in case.
Okay, you go ahead and well, you already made a perception check. You don't seem to hear anything or see anything
Okay.
as you're kind of keeping a lookout. You seem to think that your gesture of the elk meat was good enough and it would suffice for them. And you guys all wake up the next morning, and much like the morning before, there's a pot back up on of this stew, and Saarvin has everything kind of ready to go as you guys are coming to. But you guys notice that Saarvin is he looks exhausted.
Saarvin, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
You don't look fine.
How do you know how I look? I've got this wonderful mask on.
Do you require healing, rejuvenation of any kind?
I'll be fine. I'll be good.
Saarvin, a lack of sleep is very bad for your health.
Yeah, Kallista, you can tell he just hasn't slept in like 2 days.
Maybe you should take a nap this morning when we go.
I'll try. I'll do my best.
Shall we then?
We shall. He kind of gets himself ready on the toboggan. Jolin gets himself all set on the toboggan as well. Ashlyn
Get
kind
on
of
the horse.
continue to comfort him.
Feeds
And
Cleo.
Ashlyn kind of whispers over to Diana, I think he has sleep paralysis as well.
Accurate. Quite accurate.
Bring it back.
Yes.
The dead body?
What was that, Diana?
Dead body?
Also accurate.
It's awesome. Ashlyn kind of just looks at the dead body and looks at you. Yes, that too. And you guys kind of head on, and I need everybody to go ahead and give me a standard D20 roll as you guys continue your travel south.
Oh. I thought Lachlan's 19 was mine, and I rolled a 3.
Okay. So yeah, the first couple hours just seem to pass by relatively quickly as you guys continue on your journey.
Update perception.
And about just after you guys stop for a quick break for lunch, and you guys continue on your travel, Kallista, you all immediately notice. Kallista, you're probably the first to notice this. But ahead of you, on either side of the icy trail, you see some creatures that are hiding off of the trail. They appear to be white-furred creatures.
Ooh.
From what you can tell, cat-like, but you can only see kind of the tops of their heads and their eyes kind of peering at you.
How many?
You can see 3. There's 2 to the left of the trail, and you can see 1 to the right. They kind of they're kind of hiding in some kind of dead brush and trees that have just kind of been just off the side of each side of the trail. And the trail kind of dips down on the sides. So they seem to be almost hunched down between under some snow, just like behind some snowbanks.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem to be aware of your presence and see you coming.
You said
Do
we
they
can all
look
see this?
aggressive?
Yes, you can all see them. It seems like
That was good.
they're making an effort to hide, but they're not doing a very good job.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Molfin is readying a firebolt.
Okay, Molfin is ready to firebolt. Sure thing.
Will ready. What will I ready? Let's see here. I think that I have something specific to animals. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And Molfin is not waiting for somebody to give him a signal. If one of these things moves out into the open quickly towards us, or towards Kallista, is he's watching her start to walk up, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would have got off the horse, and I
If
would have
one-
called out to them. But
Yeah,
I'm
if one
holding my
pops
hand up, but
Yeah, if one pops out quickly, Molfin
That's
doesn't
fine.
care. He's just going to fire
Yeah,
at
yeah.
it.
How far are these things?
There's still probably about 60 to 80 feet away from you guys.
I prepare fairy fire.
Okay.
we see you.
You hear? We see you.
Ooh, no.
What are you doing?
Waiting for you to come closer.
Why?
Hungry.
I can feed you.
And you hear one say, "Yes, you can." and right there's where we're gonna take our break for the evening. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. If you are hanging out with us, make sure you jump into chat. Also want to remind you guys we have a bit challenge tonight. If you guys fill up our bit goal for tonight, one of our wonderful party members will get a nat 20. We've already got 2 that are kind of hanging on to theirs. So we're going to leave that up to you guys. If you guys want to jump in, you can help our players get another nat 20 to use for the night. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is episode 25 of Storm King's Thunder. I can't believe we are at episode 25.
I know.
That is awesome. That's like a half a year of Dungeons and Dragons, man. That's awesome.
I love you guys.
So-
I love you
It's
too.
literally our first session was July 28th, 2017.
July.
Wow.
So
Really?
man, just think it's kind of just it seems like yesterday we started this journey.
It
so
does.
It's very cool. So if you guys are tuning in, don't forget to make sure you hit that follow button right above that direction. Go ahead and hit that follow button. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do that as well to help support us. If you visit us on YouTube, we do have a YouTube channel where we basically upload all our vodcasts of all our episodes, so you can check those out. Also, our episodes of Tomb of Annihilation that Matthew is the Dungeon Master for on Monday nights. You can catch up on all our streams there. But if you're kind of tuning in for the first time tonight and you don't have time to go back and catch up, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just jump on board with us and follow
Join us.
along. Just join us.
Just hang on for the ride.
Just hang on for the ride, because I tell you what, it's new every week and you will enjoy it.
Yep.
I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. So, go ahead, Matthew. What were you saying?
Same thing. Just
Oh,
hold
yeah.
on and enjoy the ride, man.
Enjoy the ride. So we're gonna take a
We
quick.
don't know where the hell we're going either.
Yep,
So
yep. I don't even know where you guys are going. so it's great. We're going to go ahead and take a 5 to 7 minute break, and we'll be back here in just in a moment. So we'll see you guys soon. welcome back, everybody, to Proficiency Bonus. This is Storm King Thunder, episode 25. We're so glad that you are joining us tonight. My name is Michael, your Dungeon Master for this evening, and I've got our wonderful party of adventurers gathered together again this Friday night to enjoy some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. So we're so glad that you're with us. And where we last left off, our party encountered some large white cat creatures that seemed to be trying to hide off the trail as they were traveling south towards Fireshear. Kallista started to communicate with them using Speak with Animals and found out they're very hungry and noticed that the party is coming closer to them. So, adventurers, what would you like to do at this point?
I want to say, I don't want to hurt you. I have elk meat that I can give you if you let us pass.
Go ahead and make, let's just call this an animal handling check, just straight.
Okay.
Wow, so the one kind of looking at you, it seems like they kind of turn, the two on the left kind of turn to each other at first. But then you start to see the one on the right start to almost slowly creep up on top of the snowbank a little bit that he was hiding behind, and it's kind of just staring you down as well. You're getting the feeling that not only they're hungry, but they enjoy the thrill of the hunt.
Can I get a better look of what they look like?
Yeah, absolutely. I can actually give you a visual image of what they look like.
Yes, please.
Let's see if I can find it. I think I have a handout that I can give you guys. Handout. There it is. Got some handouts going on here. Alphabetical order. Thank you, Roll20, for keeping everything in alphabetical order for us. You don't have...
Just want to call out Mubot is as vicious as Diana is tonight.
Mubot. You know what's funny is like
yes.
I've changed Mubot too, so I'm not sure why Mubot is so vicious. You know.
Well, it's not hitting other people as much, but it
No, it hit me for moderation for one of my comments earlier.
yeah, it triple deleted me now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it deleted every message in my chat history.
Rude.
Whoa. No
If I'm looking
way.
at the entire history of
Yeah,
the
Mubot
screen,
does
it's just
that.
all
You
messages.
have been stopped.
Okay, this is weird. I don't know why they don't have a handout of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and find it in the book and show you a picture because there's a picture of it in the book. I thought if it was an image in the book that they would have it.
Wow. I think Josh just earned himself in Twitch chat because holy hell, that's a freaking burn and a half.
What did he say?
Oh, that's
So I
not
said-
nice.
So I said, apparently Mubot, made the comment about Mubot, and Josh came back with a new modus operandi. I said, apparently as vicious as Diana. He says, thankfully though, not as promiscuous.
Josh is
The
coming
shade.
on strong, throwing the shade in Twitch chat tonight. Here, I'm
Who's
gonna
the
hold.
Savage one?
I'm
Kallista?
gonna hold this up and see if you can see it, Christy.
Oh,
But do you see that? Do you see this thing? And
Yes.
it's got long fur.
Uh-huh.
It's white and it looks like this massive cat. It's very big. We're talking about large in stature.
Okay.
They probably stand, taller than, probably a little bit bigger than a lion
Okay.
as you see them. Which is, as you see them, you're just shocked and surprised that you were able to see them in the first place, because usually with the white
Yeah.
fur, they're able to kind of blend in with these icy and snowy surroundings pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And you said one of them has walked out and is sort of glowering down at Kallista?
Yeah, the one on the right seems to be taking these slow steps, like up on top of this mound of snow that it was hiding behind. And its head is like dipped down in between its shoulders like a stalking cat.
Does it look, would Molfin think this looks aggressive?
Oh, boy.
Molfin, you probably would think it looks pretty aggressive. that moment as a cat approaches something and starts to kind of sneak and get in its position, you think at any point this cat could start to get into that position. The other two on the right side or the left side of the trail seem to be kind of looking back and forth between each other, not really sure what to take of what Kallista just spoke to them about. But the one on the right seems to be taking some slow steps towards Kallista as she's standing out there communicating.
I will
Before
slowly
does-
take out some meat.
Okay.
Before Molfin does anything, how far away are they?
From you, Diana, they're probably about 60 feet. From Kallista,
Okay.
they're probably on the range of maybe 40 to 50.
Okay, that's perfect.
Molfin, Lachlan,
I'm-
probably about 60 feet from you guys as well.
And Kallista starts to hear his, and I'm assuming Molfin's going to try to project a little. Lachlan, watch that one that's taking steps forward. Giving it to the count of 5. And Molfin's going to count down.
Okay,
Oh no!
Load my crossbow.
Kallista,
I have very fast ready to action, by the way.
Okay, Kallista, as you're getting this elk meat out, you can see that the two on the left are kind of watching you pull this out of your bag and kind of getting it ready. The one on the right seems to not only is casting its gaze on you, but is also looking to the rest of the party. And Molfin, you almost catch a glimpse what you think of it as it's kind of eyeing up the horses. And then that moment that you were kind of fearing in your mind, that stop of the cat prowl and the raise of the hind end of the cat as it kind of raises its
Nat 20.
There it is. I knew it was going to be coming here sooner or later. So, and just like that, Molfin blasts out his firebolt coming for the. I guess it would. Are
Probably
you casting?
simultaneously as it's happening, I'm like tossing the meat at the other two.
Yeah, Ghost is just whipping this alchemy. She's just like throwing it towards the other two. As this fire like blasts right by you, Kallista. And with a nat
fuck.
20, go ahead and roll your damage. I guess you'd have
I
to
tried.
roll your double damage. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
What?
It's
What?
2d10 for the spell, so it's 4d10
Wow.
for nat 20, double the dice.
Wow,
Gosh.
that hurts. That hurts. Let's get some battle music going on. We'll put some dangerous on. That's better.
Look like you're going to pounce on our guide. Nope, you're getting cooked.
I'm going to go ahead and move you guys over to a different map and get things set up for this. I think it's this one. And I'm going to have to move you guys around a little bit as this cat was kind of prowling up a little bit when this all happened. Kallista, were you on the horse or off the horse when you
No, I got off the horse.
So Kallista would be about right there.
Probably
And these two probably moved out of these trees a little bit. They're still kind of hunkered down a little bit behind a mound of snow. And the firebolt came blasting out towards, I'm going to shift ping this one. And that's the one that, yeah, there you
Right
go.
to that
Molfin. Right to that one. Dealing it some massive damage. And as it makes its impact, the fire just like scolds a lot of the fur off of this cat's face and upper body, revealing underneath just these massive burns and bubbling flesh and blood just kind of seeping out from the wounds. This cat is still up, but is very, very badly injured. Fairy fire was also going off, correct, Diana?
Yes, and I'm going to let me check the range. going to where am I?
You're right next to Molfin over here.
Okay.
Mm.
Is that within 60 feet from Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are within 60 feet. Yes. Mm-hmm.
okay. So on the two that are together, I'm going to cast Fairy Fire so they can so we get advantage when we hit them.
Okay, so they're going to make a dexterity saving throw to see if they can try to avoid this.
Avoid me.
Avoiding it, yes. Let's see if they can avoid it. First thing I want to do is make sure I'm not whispering the rules to everybody, so everybody can
Music
see
on?
those. It is.
Yep.
Oh.
You're not hearing it?
Nah.
I can hear it. I got it.
Okay, so here's 2 dexterity saves coming from these creatures.
They both
Oh,
fail.
no, I do.
They both fail. So these are all of a sudden these both of these cats start to glimmer with what color was your light that you were using for fairy fire again?
Golden.
All right, so this golden glow kind of appears around each of these large cats as they are watching Kallista throw all this elk meat towards them. And it's like slapping off the ground over here forward as you cast your spell. Lachlan, did you have anything prepared?
Crossbow. I had my crossbow kind of loaded up.
Okay, were you letting loose one of these bolts towards...
Sure, the nearest... Oops. Nearest one, if
Okay.
possible.
All right.
So I'll...
Yes, the crossbow bolt, as you watch it go through your scope, makes contact with some of the now not so covered in fur cat that was lit up, and you hear this call of the cat as your crossbow just goes right into like the neck shoulder area, and the cat just slams down into the snow next to the trail. It seems to be just a helpless mass of just burnt flesh. You destroy it.
That one let these
Still
shoes
looks
not
mildly
coat.
horrified.
So at this point, what I need everybody to do is go ahead and click on your tokens, and let's roll some initiative as we start our first rounds
Crap, I hadn't.
of combat.
Pretty much the same number.
Oh, thank God.
Wow, goodness gracious.
Thank God.
All right.
You know what? I'll never get an initiative.
Come
higher
on,
than an
Putra.
There's Putra. All right. So, Lachlan, after putting that large cat down onto the snow, you begin to you're just quick on your feet. You're able to just like get ready really quick. What would you like to do as you see these 2 glowing cat creatures down here farther on the trail?
Yeah. So they're glowing. They've got it's fairy fire on them, right?
Yeah.
Yep, grants you advantage.
All right, then I'm just gonna like aim up and pop this one here.
Okay.
And I have advantage. I suppose that probably hits.
Oh yeah, you make some good contact with that one.
And then I guess that's a sneak because I've got advantage.
You've got advantage. Yep. Oh man, another brutal shot as this crossbow bolt goes flying across, nailing the. You can see that the blood starts to seep out through the wound that you just made from this crossbow bolt, and you can see that red blood starts to pour down the white fur onto the snow.
Stop bleeding! You're ruining my cape, my future cape.
Your future cape.
Oh man, Molfin just thought of that. I cooked all the fur off the other one.
Yeah, that one's enter.
All right, Kallista, you are up. You can see that now that Lachlan has put a crossbow bolt into one of these back here, that feeding them probably isn't going to work anymore, as they are.
I guess they look angry.
They look really angry and hungry.
Okay. Well. I'm conjuring a saber-toothed tiger.
All right.
What?
Can you can conjure a saber-tooth tiger right now at this level?
0 rating 2 or lower
Okay, cool.
for 1
I may
instead
not
of 2 direwolves.
I may not have a token for that. I'm looking through. I don't think I do. Let me see something really quick. I will get one going here.
And I'm also gonna say this was your last chance. And I'm going to, as a bonus action, wild shape into a direwolf.
All right. So you guys all watch as Kallista takes that familiar form that you guys are getting used to as she turns into this giant, massive direwolf again. I cannot find a saber-toothed tiger. Let's see if I can find a tiger. Here's a dire tiger.
Sure.
That'll work. We'll use that. Weird. There we go.
Oh.
You can conjure it within 60 feet of you, right? Is that what it?
Yep.
Does? So where would you?
I'm gonna have it go right next to the one that was hurt.
Okay. Like right in here.
More to
Beside it on the trail,
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And I tell it to attack
it can attack, right?
on its first. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you have the stats for a saber-toothed tiger?
I do.
All right. You can go ahead and make an attack.
All right.
As you guys witness this other large cat just appear next to this one. It seems like out of nowhere with these large fangs sticking from its upper jaws. I'm not sure. Do they have multi-attack?
No.
Nope. That was sync.
I actually could have. You know what? Could I retcon and make it a little 20 feet away so it can pounce?
You can. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
It'll
So it's gonna
pounce.
run up and pounce. Sure, that will
Yep.
definitely hit. So you can go ahead and roll your damage as the saber-toothed tiger jumps at it. So is this like a claw attack
Claw.
or is this?
It's a claw.
It's claw.
Yep. So that's 2d6.
So we're just getting imagine watching Planet Earth on the Discovery Channel.
Yes.
As these two massive cats start battle with one another. Wow.
See, you go that way, and I'm thinking of Scar and Simba at the end of Lion.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. Scar and Simba.
The king.
As this cat like lunges at it and just digs its claws into the shoulders of this white cat, the white
It
cat
needs
just
to make
moves
a DC
backwards.
strength.
It doesn't even need to because that was enough to take it down. So as it basically your saber-toothed tiger just like pummels this thing and just rolls back down the this kind of like sand drift or the snow drift that they were hiding behind, and this one is no longer with us.
And I'm gonna use my movement to go straight up to here.
Okay. Cool. You still have an action, right?
No, because I summoned.
Oh, the summon was your action. Gotcha.
Yeah, and
Oh.
my bonus action was to turn.
Gotcha. All right, so that brings us to Pouchois.
Okay, so we are sending the flyer to right up and literally sort of sit right on the back of direwolf Kallista. No, just sort of head popped up over the top, just sitting there and waiting.
Kallista, you feel this gentle pressure on the back of your neck. And that's all Pouchois is going to do? All right, that brings us to Diana.
Okay. I'm going to move 30 feet forward, and after I that, I'm. Oh, what's my hit point low? It should be full.
Yeah, your hit points should be full. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to. No, I don't think it is. Okay. I'm going to cast Bane. No, wait. I'm going to cast light guiding bolt on the one that's still standing.
All right, excellent.
Guiding bolt. Oh, I don't think I hit him.
Yeah, your guiding bolt flies over. You kind of misjudged it a little bit because he's still a little bit over that sand. You can only see, or that snowdrift that he's kind of hiding behind. You're not really sure. You can't see him get a good shot, and that guiding bolt just flies right over top of him.
That's alright.
A 10 and a 9. My goodness.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's all good. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn, Diana?
No, that's all.
That's all? Okay. So, as we begin this round, all of a sudden, Lachlan, from in the brush to your right.
Oh no. Oh no.
One that you didn't even see that was there. And Lachlan, as you see this one is bigger than the other ones. It seems to be, you can see the muscle tone even through the thick matted fur of this creature as it charges and leaps at you on the back of the horse. And it's going to make an attack against you.
Oh boy.
My audio is cutting in and out a little bit here. Uh-oh.
We lost you.
We lost you in roll 22, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Am I back?
Yep.
Alright, so he tried to make an attack roll against me?
Yeah, he's going to attack you. And here's his, it's a claw attack.
A 9? I don't think that would quite hit me.
Nope. You actually see him coming, and he like dives to you, like almost like he's trying to take you off the back of the horse. And you just duck down, and he kind of just leaps right over top of you and lands on the trail beside you, kind of in the midst of everybody.
Guys!
And he just comes to a stop like right here in between you and Diana's horse. And Diana, as you are approaching and casting your spell, you start to hear from your left a crumple of the trees next to you, as you can hear the patter of something busting through the snow. And another one that you had no idea was there.
Oh no.
Starts charging ahead and just leaps at you with its claws extended.
Is this one as big as the other one?
This one, well, you're kind of looking forward, so you're not really sure what's going on behind you. I mean, they all look pretty big to you, and the closer you get to them, the bigger you realize they are. And this one kind of pounces at you with its claws.
16.
I think that's gonna hit. So I need you to make a strength saving throw for me. As the claws kind of slash into you and the weight of this creature just bears down on you. You are actually pinned down underneath this creature. And then instantly it makes a bite down onto your shoulder as it gets a free bite attack for slamming you down. I think your armor class is 15.
It is.
So it makes it, breaks it. So you actually get bit into as well, taking another 8 points of piercing damage as these fangs of this massive cat dig into your flesh and almost immediately start to itch like you've just been bitten by a cat.
I know what that feels like.
So
me
do
too.
I. It's terrible, isn't it?
Sucks.
So you are prone right now, and you are basically underneath this massive cat.
Cool.
Not so cool.
Oh.
This cat approaches the dire wolf and is going to claw at it as they get into this hand-to-hand battle royale. Does a 16 hit a dire wolf?
Yeah.
Okay, so he slashes across the dire wolf, peeling some of its flesh and fur away for 9 points of damage. Some blood sprays across the snowy ground as the cat seems to leave out a hiss towards you, Kallista.
I growl back.
Nice. And that brings us up to Molfin.
Did
Molfin,
Molfin
you were very surprised by the large cat that just jumped right over top of Lachlan's head and landed kind of in front of you, right in front of Diana's horse. It looks like it's regaining its footing and has focused its attention on this party of you and Lachlan and the horses.
And I'm assuming this has probably captured Molfin's attention, and he hasn't even noticed what's going on with Diana, right?
Yes.
Okay. With that in mind, we got a 2-piece. So I will toss it out in advance because he's going to be making a roll, and he's going to 8.
Okay.
And that is in response to the earthen hand that I'm summoning right next to him.
All right, so this massive hand just erupts from the earth. This rocky, dirty kind of hand, snow kind of just pouring off of it as it emerges, and grabs a hold of the cat, kind of squeezing it a little bit. And I guess it's grappled now.
It's restrained.
Restrained. So it takes 7 points of damage and is restrained. So yeah, it gives it a little squeeze. You can hear it lay out, just cry out with a kind of a quick cat-like squeal as it gets just wrapped up in this hand. Anything else that you would like to do, Molfin?
Nope. That'll end Molfin's turn. Now he's got this one trapped because he's got no idea what's going on with the others. So
would be a good symbol for restrained. I'll just put a web there. All right. So Lachlan, you were just able to duck this large cat creature, and you can now see that it's just being restrained by this large hand made out of rock and earth next to it.
So I guess, my horse, I'm trying to figure out how this works. My horse is adjacent to him, right?
Yes.
So if I try to ride away, I'm gonna...
He could take a swipe at your horse, yes.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna shoot at him, and I think I'm a little too close to get any kind of advantage here. Just, without risking my little guy here.
Yeah, this will be basically from where you're at. It would,
because it's like I have advantage, but then it's kind of disadvantaged. And
I'm not 100% sure how it works when you're on a mount, because your mount takes up these 4 squares, but you only take up 1. So does it automatically assume that the mount is adjacent, so that makes you adjacent? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to rule that. I would say it'd probably be pretty difficult for you to shoot this creature since it's right next to you, so I would probably give you disadvantage on it.
Okay. Nevertheless, I will fire at him here.
Okay. Even with disadvantage, that's going to pierce its flesh. Go ahead and roll damage. Yes. So yeah, you drive a crossbow bolt into this large cat, and you find a spot like right above where the hand is gripping the creature, and you can see that you definitely the bolt makes purchase.
Cool.
Anything
Good
else?
turn.
End turn? Gotcha. Kallista, you are kind of in... kind of growling back and forth with this large cat as it just got done swiping across you with its claws.
Mm-hmm. I am going to bite it.
All right.
Yeah, it is.
And as you go to try to snap down on the back of
Oh,
its...
I have advantage.
Oh, yeah, you do. Go ahead and roll again. Yes, as you snap down, you kind of snap down on the back of his neck and grip with your teeth. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And is it considered a creature?
Considered a creature?
Mm-hmm.
I would consider it a creature, yeah.
It's gotta make a DC Strength saving throw of 13.
DC Strength, okay, 13.
Yeah.
DC 13 Strength saving throw. Here we go.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Wow.
It's in Fairy Fire, is it at a disadvantage? Let me look.
No,
No.
she was able to get advantage on it because of your Fairy Fire.
Okay, I just didn't know if things in Fairy Fire also had disadvantage.
Yeah, I don't think it affects them. I just
No.
think it affects what you guys can do to them. As
Okay.
far as advantage on attacks and things.
The saber-toothed tiger is going to make a running pounce at the one on Diana.
Okay. So Saber-Tooth Tiger turns this way and starts to run past Poussoir and runs and dives, trying to knock this other cat creature off of Diana. Go ahead, you can make your attack roll.
Ooh.
And the the cat ends up ducking a little bit and just like picking up his back as your Saber-Tooth Tiger lands and kind of flips him off onto the other side.
Okay.
Not having any effect.
Nice try.
Anything
And
else?
I think that's my turn.
It's your turn. That brings us to Poussoir.
Okay, Poutras is going to, given what Molfin had to deal with up here, actually no, Poutras wouldn't move because Molfin's too busy to be giving him demands, instructions, so he's just going to keep sitting there.
Okay.
Waiting for Molfin to do what the original plan was.
All right. Diana, you're currently pinned underneath this large cat. What would you like to do?
How do I break a pin?
It's kind of like, it's basically like being grappled. You can make like a strength check.
Okay, does that take up my action or does that use my movement?
It would take up your action. Your movement would be to kind of either crawl away or stand up. You can still attack.
Damn.
You'd be at disadvantage.
Oh man, so even if I use my nat 20, I would have to like roll again.
Yeah, you'd have that nat 20, but it would be up to the roll to see, with disadvantage.
Okay, then I'll take my break the pin.
Gonna try to break being pinned?
Yes, how do I do that? Strength save?
Yeah, go ahead and make a strength. Actually, make it athletics, if you make your athletics skill.
Okay, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Am I still pinned?
Let's see, it's gonna kind of be a contested roll here, so let's see if you
I'm
are.
still pinned.
You're still pinned. Yeah, you're still currently underneath this creature's.
I want a token.
It's
Wow.
pretty heavy.
That is one big old cat.
So you're trying to fight your way out from this cat, but you can see that this saber-toothed tiger is trying to bite into the cat that's on top of you as well. So you've got some help.
If I have a spell that's a bonus action, can I use it, or is that only?
You can use it, sure.
Okay, cool. I have to. No, I didn't think this far. I gotta think about which spells are bonus actions. Okay.
Healing word?
to heal myself.
Okay. So you're starting to pray to Ilmater as you are underneath this cat. Please help me, Ilmater.
Like 8 points of healing.
It's 9, right? Because you rolled a 1 on the higher cast there,
Yeah,
but so you get
Ew,
9.
I rolled a 1?
Yeah, you rolled a 1 on the higher cast there, but it's still 9 points, 9 healing points. So Ilmater blesses you by just helping to heal some of your wounds.
I would have given you more if you were nice to drag.
He probably would have. Oh no, Diana's gotta deal with like that. I gotta go back to the temple soon.
Okay. The cat that is in front of Kallista is going to try to claw Kallista again in this brutal combat that they've got going back and forth between the cat and the dire wolf. So here comes another claw at you, Kallista.
Nope.
And you duck out of the way as this massive claws just whiff right over top of your head. The next one is going to try to charge around Diana's horse and leap at Molfin, trying to take him off.
No, it's not. It's restrained.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not moving.
yeah. My apologies. Yeah, it's restrained by that hand. Yeah, it's not moving unless can it break that anyway?
I can try to make a strength save.
So it's got to get out of there.
Yeah.
At the end of its turn?
Let me scroll back up here. I think it's it.
It'd be the end.
To break the restrained target, make a strength check against your spell save DC. On success, the target escapes and is no longer restrained. So it's an action just like breaking a grapple or any other restraint.
It'd just be just an action. So it's going to try to do that because it's a cat creature. It would try to get out of there.
I'm going to be evil. It's going to roll a 1.
Nice. So using his other portent, he's not moving anywhere, and he really well. You know what? Technically, he can attack Lachlan's horse.
Yep, he just has disadvantage on attack rolls.
He'll have his disadvantage. Yeah, so he's going to attack Lachlan's horse with disadvantage. As he tries to, as he's frantically trying to get out of this hand that's just got him gripped and squeezing him tightly, he just reaches out a claw and tries to swipe across the horse. And
that's gonna hit.
And that will hit and slash the horse for 5 points of damage. The horse kind of bucks up underneath you, Lachlan, as.
Hold it together, buddy. Hold it together.
It does a pretty decent amount of damage to a poor horse, and you can see that there's some blood pouring off of your riding horse below. The one on top of Diana actually hops off of Diana and starts to claw at the saber-toothed tiger.
Warding flare, if I can.
Warding flare. Okay, so this
from the ground.
So this gives it disadvantage. Is that what happens?
Yes.
All right.
Ooh, doesn't hit
It's
then.
just gonna miss. Yeah, blinded by this just bright golden light that appears out of Diana as she's laying there on the ground. The cat is unable to just see and just misses terribly. Well done, Diana.
Thank you, Diana.
I forgot that I had it. I could have saved myself the trouble of being pinned.
That brings us to Molfin. You can see that you still got this cat gripped, but it's frantically like lashing out with its claws and was able to swipe at Lachlan's horse, dealing a little bit of damage and spilling some of its blood onto the trail.
Well, we can't have this wild beast dealing with this. It's like this one on fire.
Wow, yes, that connects. You can go ahead and roll damage as this firebolt goes in between Diana and Lachlan's horse, striking the creature and dealing
my hair a little.
Yes, you can feel the heat, Lachlan, as this fireball just goes flying by you, and you can see that it ignites some of the fur of the cat and chars and burns a lot of its fur and flesh. Anything else you'd like to do, Molfin?
Molfin is going to telepathically reach out and tell Poochwa to, when it can, move over and start helping with the one of the other ones.
Okay. That brings us to Lachlan.
Alrighty. I want to grab my horse by the reins and tell him to disengage from this beast.
All right. So with a pull of the reins, the horse starts to move away.
Yeah, using the disengage action to kind of get just a little bit away.
Okay.
Kind of pat him, be like, "It's gonna be okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay." Now, when I command my mount to move, does that use up a mod? Do we know? Like, do I have anything left at this point, or is that pretty much my turn?
I think as a rogue, like you can disengage as a bonus action, right?
As a bonus, oh, so I can like transfer that to my mount, kind of thing.
I would rule it that way. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, now that I'm away, then I'm gonna fire a
'cause
shot.
To me, it's like you and the horse are acting as one. So
Yeah, we feel a brotherhood.
yeah.
Kinship with animals.
Lachlan got that special Valentine's relationship going. He needs to tell us.
Oh god.
Nice.
That's illegal in at least like 43 states.
Yeah, but he's in one of the ones it's illegal in.
Yeah, favorite
Alabama.
got some. Alrighty, then I will. Wow. Right.
Is that your attack roll right there?
That was an attack roll, yeah.
Against the restrained cat?
Against the restrained cat. Yeah.
Your crossbow bolt actually hits the hand that's gripping him and just instantly shatters into about 4 or 5 different pieces as it hits this stony hand that's grabbing it.
Sorry, Gramps.
From the side he goes, "Are you trying to shoot me?"
No, I'm just not a good shot. I'm a little distracted. That's the end of my turn.
Kallista, it's your turn.
Okay, I am going to bite this thing.
All right. Kallista's getting even more angry with this creature and is able to bite into its front arm. Go ahead and deal your damage, Kallista. You take another chunk of flesh out of this cat. It is still standing, Kallista, but it looks like it's in some pretty bad shape and bleeding heavily from various bite wounds that you just put into it.
And my saber tooth is going to attack.
All right, the saber tooth is going to start attacking the other cat that was trying to maul Diana.
Yeah.
And it will hit. Is that a claw?
Yep.
Okay. No.
Oh no!
It had to be said.
To be said. So, with a quick slash, the saber-tooth tiger is able to put a nice size wound into the side of this cat. As, yes, the cat fight has ensued. There it is, the drum and the cymbal. We need to get some of those drums and cymbals.
The one in front of me needs to make a strength save.
Strength save.
Yep.
Gotcha.
13.
13. Here we go. Strength save. 13.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It seems to stumble back, regains its balance very quickly, and kind of hisses at the other cat, saber-tooth tiger in front of him.
No, I'm a direwolf.
Well, that was the one that was being attacked by the saber-tooth
Yeah,
tiger.
it's my. He only gets the DC strength if he pounces, and he can only do that if he's 20 feet
20
away. But direwolf, they automatically have to do it. If
automatically
I
get the
hit,
strength.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, he hisses at you then.
I go.
And Poochwa? I think you're still muted there,
You're muted.
Mr.
Thank you.
Molfin. You got it.
Bourgeois is going to fly over and start sort of buzzing around the face of this large white feline and take the help action.
All right. Yeah, the cat seems to be highly annoyed by this flying creature that just seems to be circling around its head.
This little winged snake.
Diana, you're no longer restrained. You're still laying on the ground.
Hallelujah. I will take half my movement and stand up.
Okay. So you're
And
now
I
on your
want-
feet.
I want to reach out and touch this thing and cast Inflict Wounds, and I wanted to do it at a higher level.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
I used my nat 20. I'm so sorry. I've been rehearsing saying it in my head for like ever. I wanted to say I used my nat 20 before that.
Nat 20, that's okay. The Nat
Okay.
20 is unleashed. Let me make sure I get rid of the right Nat 20. No, that was Molfin's.
Well, I burnt mine too, so
Oh, did you end
casting
up
it
burning it?
over
Yeah,
three.
you
that's
did burn it.
yeah, that's what I started
Yep.
with.
I apologize, Twitch viewers, for
And
not
then
getting
because-
rid of that on the screen quicker.
And then because I've been at 20,
Oof.
So that's double.
Yes.
so 12 plus 12 is how much?
24.
24.
24,
24.
times
So
2.
I did like 48.
48.
8 points of damage.
Damn.
So as Poussoir is just spinning circles around this cat, Diana, seeing an opportunity, just stands up, reaches out her hand, and grabs the cat by the shoulder. And immediately you guys see the cat just, its eyes just start to roll back into its head. And the flesh of this cat just seems to almost dissipate underneath it. And it's nothing. It looks. It's kind of like it's just, just a rug with nothing underneath it. Like and it just falls to the ground, just in this heap. Wow, it was really nasty. Just imagine
Yes.
something gross and grotesque, and that's what it is. As this happens, terrible.
I mean, not the mess up.
Diana has been
And-
dealing some vicious inflict wounds spells here as she is using Ilmater's charity,
Blessings of what is it?
charity and goodness to suck the life out of creatures.
And Dragonborn souls.
Oh my god. She really needs me soon. Bill Mater's like, this is not your purpose, child. I'm also gonna, since I used half my movement to stand, I'm gonna use the rest of it to get near Kallista and be like, hey, sister.
So
Alright.
Diana runs up boldly next to the dire wolf that's engaged in combat with this other cat.
And inflict wounds is a full action, so I don't have any bonus action to do. Okay then, I'm just chilling.
Okay. The cat that is one of the cats is gonna. This cat's gonna try to get out of that hand again.
He might have a shot now. I have no more portents.
It was strength, right?
Yep.
Okay, so here's the strength.
Oh yeah, he's free.
Oh, and he breaks free, using his action. So he's gonna move. Where's he gonna move to? He's gonna move to here. And just look menacingly at Molfin. He looks like he's very hungry, Molfin. And the other one is going to attack Kallista, but I'm going to go ahead and use my natural one.
Ooh. Yay, thank you.
And expend it there as it is distracted by the approaching cleric. And basically just whiffs terribly, scratching some of the snow and ice from the ground next to the dire wolf, bringing us to Molfin.
Molfin, in a fit of panic, now seeing that this thing has broken free, drops concentration on his grasping hand and allows it to just crumble to the ground. And as a bonus action, once again reaches up, grabs his throat. Oops. Failure in architecture. And
nice.
Casts Dragon's Breath on himself as a bonus action.
Sweet.
And proceeds to
So
as
what will it be
acid
this
damage.
time, Molfin? What will it be? Acid damage.
acid this time. And with that, just spew acid in the face of this thing looking up at him.
All right, so that's a
Gotta stop eating that spicy food.
dexterity saving throw. Oh, let's see how it does.
And that's a failure.
That's a failure. How much damage is this going to do acid-wise for us? Wow.
I will take it.
Wow. Yeah, so just describe what this acid looks like as you're spewing it, Molfin.
It's literally, we'll go with something that everyone, even our viewers, has probably experienced it once in their life. It's that Saturday morning after you went out drinking all night the night before with no food in your stomach, and you get home and you just get sick and it's nothing but bile. And it's that dry heat, sort of burning,
Too
just
real, man. Too real.
So yes, this cat is basically just engulfed in that that terrible substance that you just described for all of us and all of our viewers at home. Thank you. And you guys can hear the sizzle and the hiss of this acid as it burns the flesh of this cat. And you can hear it kind of squealing and making some awful, terrible noises back there as it was engulfed in this stuff coming from it. It just looks like Lachlan. It just looks like Molfin is actually vomiting on this cat.
Lachlan, hurry up and get over here and save me.
Yeah.
It's that cat is still up, but looks in very, very bad shape.
Burnt, shot, puked on.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything tonight for that cat. Anything else for you this round, Molfin? I think that's your whole turn, right?
No, that's it. Except for movement, and he's not going to run. It's...
All right, Lachlan, you are up.
All right, I'm running a little low of ammo in my magazine here, but I'm gonna try to put it out of its misery.
Okay. Do you have advantage on that? Yes, you do, because Molfin's right next to you, correct?
Oh, is he within 5? Yeah, he's within 5 feet of it.
Yeah, so advantage helps. It hits.
Oh, just barely.
It just barely makes contact. And you
wait,
also
no,
have,
I don't
you
think I get advantage just because he's. It would be only sneak attack if I actually hit.
Oh, so you don't get advantage there?
Yeah, I don't think I hit him at all.
So as
assassin.
as the cat is reeling from this terrible acid puke that it just doused all over it, it just reels back enough that your shot just zings right in front of his face and just hits the ground underneath Diana's horse.
I apologize to it.
You apologize to it?
That's the end of my turn.
Right. Kallista, that brings us to you.
Okay, the saber-toothed tiger is going after the one with the horses, and he's pouncing.
Oh, he's pouncing. Okay, so he turns around, looks at just dashes right past Diana's horse and starts to pounce. Go ahead and roll your attack. That will miss as it leaps over top of the cat, which is still reeling. Just catches a glimpse of the saber-toothed tiger just quick enough to duck out of the way.
Now I'm gonna go.
That will hit as another bite is taken out of this cat.
Ooh.
and you make contact with it. It looks badly injured, but it is still standing. It's still most of the front half of this cat from all the bites that you put into
DC
it.
strength.
Yeah, it's looking like it's the white fur is now looking rather pink as the blood keeps on pouring down. And what's it got?
Damn.
Whoa, 2 crits in a row
Wow.
on that. My
Wow.
goodness.
Mine.
Yeah, this guy, he can keep his footing as he's getting gnawed on.
Michael, you stole my luck. That was me at the beginning of the episode.
I know. I was like, my goodness. I roll fine as a DM, but when I'm a player, I always roll like 1s and 2s and 3s. That's my MO. Kallista, anything else you'd like to do?
That's it.
That's it? All right. Bouchois. He doesn't really have anybody to circle around here right anymore.
Yeah, so Molfin's a little concerned at the moment, so Putro's just going to stay where he is because he's not getting any instruction as Molfin's more concerned with the giant hairy thing in front of him.
All you got to do is remove the skeleton, the bones out of that one that Puchois next to, and you got a nice rug for your living room. From what Diana did to it.
A nice cloak.
Yeah, there you go.
Had 2 or 3 gnome-sized cloaks in it.
Diana, you're watching Kallista just gnaw at this cat. It's stained pink in the front from all the wounds, and it looks in pretty bad shape. But it's able to hold its footing even despite all the bites and things that it's taken.
Oh yeah, no, that one's not gonna make a good coat. I'm gonna cast Burning Hands at level 2.
Yeah, it's not going to make a good coat anyway, so let's just fry it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
And I don't want a pink coat. I'm going to light it on fire.
Dexterity
Burn
saving
it.
throw. Needs a 15 or better. And it fails. And basically, Diana, all you see is the flames shoot out from your hands and just engulf the cat beyond you. The dire wolf next to you, Kallista, kind of just seeing the heat and the fire emerge from your hands, just kind of steps back just a little bit. And when the fire dissipates, there's nothing but a burnt, charred corpse laying in the snow in front of you. Most of the snow is actually melted away in the part that you just fried.
Wow.
And that cat is no longer with us.
One more.
I'm just wow. I'm caught between they're cats and wow, Diana's like going down a dark path.
I've noticed that the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, she's got some pent up anger. I think that stone might have something to do with it.
Get it out, girl.
Just turn to Kallista like, you need healing.
She's like, don't touch me.
Slowly just.
So the dire.
She's just gonna like lower her head and be like, "You okay, bro?"
Diana's like, I'm fine. Then that's my turn.
Ends your turn. Okay. This brings us to this cat who is going to try to. Seeing that he's just so injured but kind of surrounded, he's going to take a swipe at Molfin. So he kind of
At our tank.
and gets up on his behind legs and just takes a swipe as hard as he can with this this claw.
Oh.
And I think that was good enough to do it too.
It would have been.
Does it work?
No, 14 would have hit, but I'll cast shield as a reaction.
Oh yeah, so as the claw comes across, all of a sudden you see Molfin kind of pick up his staff and say some of these incantations very quickly, and the attack just seems to bounce off of this magical energy that forms in front of Molfin.
Rams, that was awesome.
That will end his turn to Molfin. As soon as you do that, it is your turn. So after you deflect that claw, it's all in your hands.
And once more, just another bout of acid straight into the face of this thing.
I do believe it will hit the saber-tooth tiger as well. Yeah, it will.
Johnny Knoxville.
Dexterity saves all around.
He's like, Kallista makes these things all the time. It's all good.
Yeah, it's not real. It's just going to go poof into smoke anyway.
So another dex save for the cat. If you can make a dex save for the saber-tooth tiger, the cat fails.
Oh no!
Wow, low roll.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, you spew on this cat. You just all over the cat again. But the cat is still surprisingly on its feet. It does not look good at all. Like almost all the fur of this cat has been just with this acid just completely like melted off. Some of it's like just falling onto the ground next to it. Its skin is bubbled and blistered. It looks terrible right now. The saber-tooth tiger only takes half that damage, so only 4 points of damage, Kallista, as it's able to kind of back up a little bit, seeing this nasty liquid fly out of Molfin's mouth. It only catches a little bit of that fluid. Anything?
That'll end the turn.
End turn for Molfin. It brings us to Lachlan.
That magnificent pelt is ruined. I've got one more bolt in my bow right now before I'm gonna have to reload it. So I'm gonna try to put this thing out of its misery.
Okay. Here comes another crossbow, and that will definitely hit. Don't bother rolling damage, Lachlan. Go ahead and describe this wonderful death for us.
So, I almost look a little dejected as I watch this like poor beast that was just hungry, sort of, just in terrible shape. And I just very carefully with my last bolt just kind of try to find a spot where it's a little bit stable. Probably, somewhere around like the brain neck area, and just kind of try to give it a mercy shot.
Oh, and you definitely do that. Once it hits in that area, it's perfect shot. It's almost like an instantaneous, like its eyes just lose all its life and it just slams down onto the ground. Perfect shot, Lachlan.
That took longer than it should have.
You hear Saarvin back there go, "Wow!" As he really
Thanks, Saarvin.
As he really didn't do anything but watch this encounter.
You are a huge help.
And that will take us out of initiative order.
Can I just say, Lachlan officially has been more merciful than Diana in this fight. The rogue is more merciful.
Bogey's rubbing off on me. It's bad.
What a world.
Lachlan, do you think there's any edible meat left on this one?
We should check. You have a dagger? You have daggers, right?
Oh, yes, I've got 2 daggers on me.
I think we've got dinner.
Yeah, some of it's cooked already.
Yeah.
Some of it's been properly smoked.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, some of it's been roasted. You can smell it from over there where Diana just got done toasting this one. It's probably a little crispy on the outside, but I'm sure it's pretty good. Once you break over that layer of the crisp.
Over here that only got lit on fire and shot once.
I investigate for loot as well.
Sure, you can. Make an investigation check.
Loot!
Molfin is going to make his way down over to the one that he burnt. He's going to ignore the one that's sort of blistered and acided.
Yeah.
And is just going to reach into his robe, pull out one of the 2 daggers, and just start carving some meat off.
Okay, go ahead and make, I guess this would be maybe a survival check.
Okay.
We'll make it a survival check here. Diana, there is maybe 1 or 2 of these cats that you think you could probably try to carve the get the pelts from.
Right.
But as far as like loot is concerned, they don't really have anything. They could probably get some meat. You could probably get some meat off of it.
Okay. I would like to carve some pelts.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and you can also roll a survival
Christy, you're-
check.
Hey.
Christy, you're muted.
Yeah, Christy, I think you're muted.
Oops.
There you go.
I said I want to get a tooth from.
You want to get a tooth?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, you don't really have.
And I
any
also
problem
healed
get-
the horse.
You don't have any problem getting a tooth out of one of these creatures, so you can add a Crag Cat tooth to your inventory.
Is that my horse that's getting
I'm
healed?
going to. Yeah. Okay. I have an idea. Crag Cat.
Yeah, Crag Cat tooth.
Okay.
And Diana, you actually do a pretty good job of carving a pelt off of this creature. Molfin, you actually do the same. You guys are actually able to, the two that weren't burnt or acided to death.
No, and I've got nothing to do with pelts.
You're going for
I'm
meat.
using I rolled for it. I'm using the Zolkin dagger, and I'm just carving meat off of this corpse.
Oh, using the
There's gonna be a
Zolkin
cat
dagger.
in that dagger world going, "Hello, Molfin."
Well, I have two daggers. I rolled a D2 because I reached in the robe and pulled one out.
You
Using
didn't even
the
look at it. You just roll. You
I
just
d-
went
I
and
just-
grabbed it.
Yeah, just rolled and start hacking in.
Diana, you're
Oh my
kind of carving this
God.
pelt away, and you're kind of getting this. You're thinking, oh man, I could make a cloak out of this, or I could make some kind of warm, just a jacket or something I could wear with this. And you look over and you notice Molfin is hacking at this cat, and you can see that he's got the dagger that you've noticed before, and he's just exactly like MG's doing.
Like
he's
psycho.
He's hacking it, and he's tearing on it. He's actually doing a pretty good job of getting a lot of meat off the bone and things like that. But you can definitely see that he is holding that same dagger that you guys had such an intriguing experience with before.
Me, do I notice?
Yes, you do notice.
Immediately, I would like to yell, Molfin! Put that crap down!
Sorry. Pull out the other one.
Trying to get us killed.
Diana, you've seen the two of them. They are very similar in look. Honest mistake. They just start wailing on it with the other dagger.
He replaces it and starts hacking again. Yeah. Kallista, when you guys got the elk meat, how much? What was the poundage of meat that you got?
We got 50 pounds.
let me
It was
check.
like 50 pounds or something like that.
50 pounds, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can
Oh.
kind of carve Molfin. You probably get about 10 pounds of meat.
I'll pick up the
You
meat that
gotta
they
carve.
didn't eat,
Okay, yeah, sure.
that I threw at them.
Yeah,
I'll put it back in the bag.
Like Oregon Trail.
yeah, it's a little frosty, has some snow on it, but you put it back into your inventory.
So it's 10 pounds?
No, Molfin got 10 pounds of Crag
Oh,
Cat
yeah, I
meat.
was just putting it in the bag of
Yeah.
holding.
Yeah,
Like
gotcha.
in our inventory thing.
Sure thing.
Lachlan, bring over the bag of holding. I need to.
I
Sorry
hold
to
it
put all this-
open. And I have my mage
I-
hand ready to help like urge things in.
And I'm just
Nice.
dumping raw meat into the bag of holding.
Getting meat on my mage hand.
Awesome.
You know, that's sanitary.
It totally is. Saarvin kind of approaches, and you guys notice. You guys remember? I kind of described him having like this fluffy white overcoat that he wore. It's almost like it's a lengthy cloak over his armor. Oh, yes, Crag Cats, and he kind of just fluffs his cloak a little bit. I've got one of their pelts myself. Just kind of
Oh.
like this.
I wonder if you skinned that one over there and point to the one that's just acid and fire and arrows, crush.
He looks at it. He's like, "Well, I might be able to make a wristband or two." That might be it.
Skin should be good for something.
And you guys are kind of just going through the battlefield, kind of carving, getting some meat and things like that. Ashlyn approaches Diana as Diana's finishing up kind of carving this pelt, and she just kind of looks towards Diana and she's just like, Diana, what's wrong?
Oh wow, what a wonderful question. Nothing whatsoever is wrong with me. I feel fine.
You're just not the person I remember.
Yeah, well, it's been years. I've traveled, seen a lot. People change.
She just kind of looks at you and she's like, I'm just worried about you, worried about my friend.
Thank you. I'm great. I'm fine. I don't know. I miss home, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I do too. She kind of rubs her head a little bit. You can see there's a bruise from where she kept hitting her head off of the entryway of Thwip's house.
I'll just rub my thumb across her head and heal her really fast.
Oh yeah, you have no problem. Like, you just kind of rub your thumb across it, and the bruise just dissipates and disappears. She's like,
"Oh, sweetie,
wow.
you gotta learn to duck."
She's duck. Where?
No, oh my god.
Just looks all around.
Just when some yeah, the duck pool is over there now. It's with his family. Okay. And then I'll be back and I'll walk her to the rest of the group.
Okay.
Kallista's gonna take out her tiger tooth necklace, the one like her druidcraft necklace, and she's gonna take the Crag Cat tooth, and beside the tooth, she's gonna druidcraft it onto the necklace.
Okay. Yeah, you have no problem kind of putting this new tooth onto your necklace as you're starting to kind of have yourself a little collection going on here, Kallista.
Yeah, but it's not a collection I want to keep adding to.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's a reminder.
All right.
That's when Molfin's made his way back and climbed up onto his horse and is just looking down at the lump next to him.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty looking. It's still boiling a little bit. Got some pretty awful stench going on, yeah. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah, Clef's gonna get back on the horse and she's gonna be really quiet now.
All right. So you guys kind of head back up. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to do before you continue your travel?
Nope.
Nope.
All right.
Mind the remains of this one. It's a bit nasty.
Gramps the fly over here.
So you guys continue your travel, and before dark, you begin to approach, and you can feel the tension with Saarvin with each mile that you take during this part of the journey.
Oh no.
And Saarvin, he tells you that you're about just a few miles away from Fireshear. He looks to all of you and he says, perhaps we could just make our own path through the light forest next to the tundra there. to head to Dasharra's residence. She's north of the city. It might be beneficial for us. And he tightens his mask a little bit tighter on his head as he's saying this.
If our goal is this person's home, I see no reason to not acquiesce to his request if it isn't going to be too difficult.
It'd be so nice to sleep in a bed, eat out of a bowl.
Yes, but Lachlan, we can
So
circumvent the location to go to this person's house, and then once he is safely there, we can make our own way into town.
Agreed.
Find ourselves an inn and sleep in a bed.
Agreed.
Saarvin kind of looks at you, looks at all of you as you're talking. He's like, well, there is no inn in Fireshear.
Pardon?
What?
Yeah, see, it's basically, most of the homes are just for the miners, and they live in these very small, I don't know, stone-like dome structures.
Small.
Yeah, very small. Most of the time, the miners are in the mines most of the day themselves, and they only use their homesteads to sleep at night. Yeah.
Okay, was I the only one under the impression that this was some big city with like this fantastic hall of dragon trainers? And you mentioned something about guilds and trading. How does a mine town have guilds and trading? Saarvin!
Well, a lot of the trading is done, but a lot of the economy is exported.
So, what's the population of this town if it doesn't even have an inn?
Well, we have a lot of miners, of course. You see, long ago, this meteorite fell from the sky, and it made its impact along the coast, revealing a lot of veins of copper and iron ore mines within the side. Well, the miners got a hold of this, and they quickly made it to their way, and so Fireshear ended up being established.
Yeah, I did the same thing, Diane. I didn't even bother mentioning I wanted to check. Would I be able to make like a history or an intelligence check to see if any of this is...
Yeah, you guys kind of believe every word he says as far as insight goes. Kallista, I mean, he seems to be being honest. Yeah, he didn't technically mean to neglect this information, just no one really asked.
Oh my god. Diana might just choke him out. I don't know.
Let's just go to our place. It's not like we haven't slept outside before.
So you guys
Is
are
it late enough that we wouldn't make a scene if we just go through the middle of town? Or is it still light enough that we should stick to the forest?
Town. Lachlan.
It's still light enough. I mean, you guys could approach town. It's still gonna be about dinner time as you guys approach town.
Yeah, we'll
Either way.
Let's just go to our
loop
place.
around.
Okay. So as you guys start to get closer to Fireshear, Saarvin's like, just trust me, Diana the Divine. Trust me.
Divine.
Yeah, that's the first
yeah.
time Lachlan's heard it.
I
And,
think it's the first time
like
any of us have technically heard it.
Yeah.
No, Kallista suggested it, so
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Callista's suggestion.
Kallista smirks
stuck.
every time she hears it.
So you guys get to a point. Now, there is no trail that leads off this way, but you see Saarvin just instantly start heading into the brush and kind of like snowy ground to the right. And he just starts like leading you guys off as he's off of his toboggan and just starts leading ahead. He actually seems really good at this. Like, Kallista, you are actually astonished at his ability to kind of move through heavy brush areas and things like that. He's actually quite skilled. He's able to kind of move you guys. Grease Hill Toboggan, fun. That's nice. And eventually, you guys crest this hill, and at the bottom of the hill, you see this small stone structure. At the bottom of the hill that kind of overlooks what looks like the sea. It overlooks a large cliff, and then you can see that some of the sea is actually frozen before it kind of dissipates, and you can see that the rest of the ocean is out there, and you can see it's just kind of like looking at the ocean. You can see the horizon, and next to this small stone establishment, there is what looks like a larger wooden rectangular establishment that's right next to it. And you can see that there is a small dwarven woman who is outside with a rope kind of attached to a griffin. And she seems to be kind of like doing some kind of drill with it, like moving it around in circles and things like that. And there are some other individuals kind of standing around, look like they're heavily armed, as you guys start to approach.
10,000 gold, 10,000 gold.
I'll walk up. Lachlan.
Did I say that out loud?
Mm. As you...
I light my
I don't
hand
know
on
if you
fire.
did it. I will walk up and very politely introduce myself.
I'll stop the
Hello,
horse.
I'm Diana Lionheart.
Before you're even able to get close, one of these individuals kind of steps out. It's like, whoa, halt.
What?
Halt. No further.
I would have stopped the horses before then. 'Cause
Okay.
I
Oh my
don't want the
God.
horses getting closer to the griffins.
And he's kind of standing there, just looks like just a human man, just standing there, kind of looking at you. And he's no further. What is your business?
I'll show Cleo.
And I'll show Salim.
Oh, I see. So you
I
come
heard
to,
this is the place to come.
Lachlan.
well, it is. So, you're seeking Dasharra.
Indeed.
Yes.
Very good. Well, follow me. Come this way. And he kind of turns around. Anybody who would like to can make a perception check for me, please.
I will perceive things.
Lachlan, you have advantage on this roll.
Okay.
I don't perceive anything.
Wow.
I'm getting so tired of this dumb idiot. She sees nothing.
Molfin, Kallista, Lachlan. He's wearing a ring on his left finger.
As in, like, he's married, or like he's.
Uh-oh.
Diana, you think he's married.
Oh,
The rest of
my
them
God.
kind of got an idea. It brings back memories of Zolkin and
Oh no!
Callista's resisting the urge to growl.
Dang it!
And I keep Cleo a little tighter to my body.
Okay. Yeah, he just begins to walk and lead you guys there. And leads you to the
Molfin
establishment.
with the most poo-eating grin looks over at Kallista. Wasn't this just a fascinating journey? You know, I bet Everland is looking like a marvelous place to visit right about now.
Do you want to go now?
Yes, let's.
As you
I
guys,
look at Diana and I'm like, let's try.
you all of a sudden hear, you have griffins, babies at that. Oh,
Yeah.
and you can hear a dwarven woman kind of calling at you as you guys are kind of having this conversation. Oh, please, please come closer. Let me see the little ones.
Very
I'm
well bred.
insulting her.
Very fine coats.
What was that, Kallista?
Insight.
So sure. Yeah, she seems to be really excited to see you approaching with some baby griffins.
I got the same as Kallista.
Yeah, you guys feel the same way. I mean, you don't feel any malice behind her.
Okay.
Genuine
No malicious.
excitement.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come closer.
All right. As you come closer, you approach this dwarven woman who looks.
I'm keeping my eye on the Zhentarim,
Okay.
but
sure.
I'm approaching her.
Yeah.
I'm
The
not looking at the very bad at all.
the Zhentarim seems to he just kind of moves away. Kind of takes up posts, sort of on the other side of what looks to be just like a small hovel. Here, with as you guys approach closer, you can see that the wooden structure looks like a stables for these griffins, and you notice that she has several griffins around, and she's like, oh, do they have names? Have you named these creatures?
We have.
Oh, what are the names? And this dwarven woman just is. You can see that she's got several wrinkles on her face. Like she's aged quite a bit. Still kind of maintaining some of her hair color, but you can see streaks of gray that kind of pour through as the braids kind of slip down on her head.
This is Cleo.
This is Salim.
Salim and Cleo. Oh, look at them. Look at them. Oh. Yo. I have a couple eggs in there as well. They're getting ready to hatch. Should be within the next week or two.
Oh, that's great.
I'm so excited.
Little baby.
This one here, I just working with her a little bit today. This is Solana. And it kind of pets the head of the griffin.
What's its name?
Solana.
Solana.
Yes, Solana. I was training Malik a little bit earlier.
Oh God!
But he was
Malik!
he was starting to get a little feisty, so I had to put him up. He was just hungry.
Sounds like
You
a
see.
spicy name.
Oh my goodness!
I'm confused. Am I getting a
Molfin is confused, and he's following the Zhentarim to his post.
I'm going to have a conversation with this individual.
Magnus Bane and Alec Lightwood. Just saying Malik. Reference there.
Solana and Malik are two adventurers in the Monday Night campaign.
Yeah, Solana is actually Sarah's character. And Melik is feisty. Dave, if you're watching this, we love you, bud. Melik's feisty.
But feisty.
He is a bit feisty. So yeah, she's. Oh, have they been fed? Have you been feeding them properly?
For the love of God, yes, we're not terrible
Elk meat.
mothers.
Lots of elk meat and other rations.
Elk meat. I guess that will do. They prefer horse.
Yes.
I hold my horses.
I think we did feed them some horse meat, like, much earlier on, but, like, I think it was only once that they actually had horse meat.
Wherever did you come across these beautiful creatures?
Unfortunately, their mother was slain in a battle, and we kind of took on the eggs in her place.
We got them from a giant.
A giant? Really?
Yeah.
A giant?
Yeah.
Friend of ours, yeah.
You have a friend that's a giant?
It's a long story, but
He's got
yeah,
a giant
he
eye.
cares for his own pack of griffins.
Well, excuse me. I must introduce myself. My name is Dasharra, and he holds out her hand to you, Kallista.
I shake it.
Dasharra, and she just like looks at. I'd much like to hear about your friend, this giant friend of yours.
Yep.
He's far away. I don't even know where he is right
You have no idea where he is?
No, he kind of just left us and went on his way.
Well, so be it. She looks over towards the Zhentarim that Molfin is kind of walking over to. Molfin, are you saying anything to this guy?
The married man.
Molfin is gonna just try to broach a conversation with him. Basically, try to earn his confidence. Try to see if he's heard anything on this weasel.
The weevil?
Weevil.
Yes, the weasel.
So you walk up to the guy and kind of awkwardly stand next to him for a moment.
Oh, I love that.
Staff just sort of leaning up, look up.
And he kind of like he looks down with an awkward look and he's like, can I help you?
I'm hoping you can. You see, we run into a friend of yours, of your organization in Bryn Shander, who is in need of some legal assistance. Said assistances were provided, and he said that your organization is seeking somebody by the name of Weasel.
Weasel.
We are. Yes, I believe it was the Weasel.
Well,
they said they were willing to pay for it, and I was wondering if you had heard anything. If you could give us a lead that perhaps we could locate this individual, we would be more than happy to split the reward with you, 50-50.
Who would be happy?
I must be honest with you. I've been here as a guard of this establishment for the last year and a half. I have not heard of the weasel, and I'm not really sure what you're referencing. My job is to make sure that no one gets any of these griffins, and that is what my job is.
Molfin will just sort of very pointedly look at his ring finger, and then back up at him.
Oh my god.
He just looks at his ring finger and then looks back at you.
He really is a married man. That was it.
That was it.
I was hoping to gain a foothold into earning a little money that, I believe it was 6,000 or 7,000 gold pieces was the reward being offered for this individual.
6,000 or 7,000 gold pieces, you say?
Yes, they were very adamant about locating this individual.
Well, the weasel, you say?
I'm fairly certain that was the name.
Well, I'll have to keep my ears and eyes peeled for this individual. If 6,000 or 7,000 gold pieces.
Well, it is quite a payday that. Well, again, I'm trying not to mention the name, but your organization was offering.
Your organization.
We're looking for the ferret, 10K.
He's like, well, I'll definitely keep my ears open. If I hear anything, it'll be a pretty good payday.
That is what I am hoping for. Is there anything of interest in here? A place where a couple of travelers may be able to find a good night's rest that's not, outdoors?
Well, Lady Dasharra has a loft above the stables, where we, the guards, stay. I'm sure she would be willing to have you guys stay there. It's nice and comfortable.
Thank you for the tip. I will have to speak with my compatriots and see if we can arrange that with the lady.
And Molfin, you notice that there are two other guards standing in front of the stables. And you see one of them actually come out from the loft above and climb down this crude wooden ladder. And they are all wearing rings.
A lot of married men in these parts.
They're
All take.
all taken, Diana.
Makes them more intriguing.
Molfin just sort of, nods his head at the gentleman, and as he makes his way back over towards the group, is going to say somewhat, quietly to Kallista.
Mm.
It seems to be all of them.
Why am I not surprised?
And in Thieves' Cant to Lachlan,
So
say again, trying to be quietly, say, this appears to be a Zhentarim stronghold. There are multiple individuals all wearing that same shiny ring.
Friendly territory.
Friendly for whom?
So yeah, you guys kind of hear Molfin is just saying like the regular everyday things to Lachlan, but somehow Lachlan is able to understand what Molfin is saying. It's strange.
The
You
windows
guys,
in the house have cats.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And Kallista, Dasharra, continues to kind of speak to you. You must have traveled a long way. He looks over to the guard that Molfin was just talking to. Kentucky, get over here.
Oh my god.
And this guard walks over. And yes, ma'am. Would you show these individuals to the loft of the stables? Make sure they're very comfortable. I want to make sure that they that they're well taken care of. I'll go make sure that I get a pot of stew ready for their meal for this evening. And he's like, oh yeah, yes ma'am. Right this way. And he starts to walk towards the loft, leading you all there.
I turn to him and I'm like, so how long have you been married?
Married?
Got the ring. Yeah, the ring.
Oh.
Little ring.
Oh, this. It's no symbol of marriage, ma'am.
Oh. Can I see it?
No.
Why would you wear it then?
Well, it's. Why? Do you wear jewelry?
I mean, I don't wear things that look like wedding bands on my wedding finger, if that's what you're asking.
I like the look.
It looks
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, am I close enough to see what it is?
You can.
I wanted to follow Dasharra.
You guys can make a perception check. Yep. Oh, you wanted to follow Dasharra? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As he's kind of like moving it within his hand, you can see the carving on it. It's hard to see at first, Diana, but you can see that there's a carving of a flying snake on the inside of this ring.
I immediately am like, oh, no, you're not married.
Well,
Great to know.
Didn't I just tell you that? I mean.
Yeah, you did. I didn't.
Okay.
No.
What is?
Yep. I'm gonna turn to the rest of the party and be like, guys, what?
They seem really nice.
No, they don't. Do you have any idea?
How nice.
Sorry.
They seem.
Saarvin's kind of like, what is the problem?
Oh my god.
We're going upstairs, and we are all going to discuss this over a nice stew dinner.
The most evil people in the world.
Saarvin just looks at this guard named Kentucky with an awkward look, and he looks back at you, Diana. He doesn't seem to look that evil.
They never do. And I shout that.
Nice. And Kentucky hears you shouting this in the midst of all this like whispering. It's like he just gives an awkward look towards the group. Right this way. He just keeps on leading you up to the. He's like,
Don't mind her. You look like somebody just don't mind her.
I turn to him like, I am watching you.
uh,
I do the eye thing.
and he kind of shows you to the ladder, and he's like, "Oh, after you." And he points towards you, Molfin, and shows you to the ladder up to the loft.
I shake my head. I'm like, no, you.
Do you have any idea how old I am? You expect me to climb up a ladder like I'm some youngling?
Well,
Molfin,
I thought it would be a. All of a sudden, Molfin just levitates up to the opening in the loft and just disappears, and the guy's just like watching you do this. And he looks back at you, Lachlan. He's like, "What was all the fuss about? If he could just do that."
Pretty extraordinary.
And he looks at you and he notices your ring. And
Shake his hand.
And he gives you a quick wink. He gives you a quick wink and kind of gets closer to you and says, "Whatever you need, just let us know."
oh my
Appreciate the
god!
hospitality.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be back with the food right away.
Looking forward to it.
And he kind of like leans closer and he's like, "You do know that they have a ton of money in their arms right now, those two." And he kind of like, just kind of like tilts his head back to the two baby griffins that they're holding on to.
I'm not there.
Well, at least the one that Diana has. But Kentucky, he saw that you had one too, so he's
Yeah, but I don't.
yeah.
How much is a ton?
Oh my goodness, Dasharra was willing to pay a lot for baby griffins because she can train them like no other. You should see this woman work.
These ones are really good stock.
Oh yeah, like the best.
Oh yeah.
I
He's
heard
playing with fire. It's fine, Diana.
I heard them saying something about a giant. They came from a giant. I mean, that must be great stock.
Giant's a crazy thing these days, huh?
I guess we'll see how everything goes in the next day or so.
Yeah.
Oh, you better get up there and I'll make sure that this meal is taken care of.
Cool. I tried to do like a cool secret handshake with him.
You guys are like,
Crap.
it's just like, it's some random thing.
No, you guys do the black handshake. That's what you do.
And Kallista, you have kind of just started walking behind Dasharra, and she's like, "Oh, you don't want to be shown to your to
I
the
don't
loft?
mind helping you.
Oh,
I have some things to talk to you about first.
oh, sure. Let me just put Solana up here really quick and
Sure.
she she finds Solana's stable and she puts the griffin back in. You can see that there are several other griffins in different stables. And she look up. Like that one right over there is my favorite. That's Gizzard.
Aw, Gizzard.
Oh. Sometimes he'll just wander off and disappear for months at a time and just show up back on our doorstep. I don't know what he gets into.
Reminds me of someone I know. Strange. Deja vu.
And then you see this one it's a little bit bigger, looks older than the rest. She's like, that's Screecher. Screecher's the alpha.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
He looks amazing.
Yeah. That's Screecher. He only allows me to lead him. But all the rest, they follow him wherever he goes.
Impressive.
Noble and magical creatures these griffins are.
I've been learning.
And right this way. Malik, stop it! Stop it, Malik! And she just kind of walks by. Quinn, I heard that. and walks out of the, and walks
I'm
out of
feeling
it.
summery this morning.
Callista's grinning.
And just kind of walks out of the stables as you guys are moving off. It's been brutal. You see, Quen and Devonay have just been at it all this time, and Malik seems to be the one that always has to, tries to smooth things over, but ends up making things worse in the long run. Just frustrating dealing with all these personalities of these griffins.
Yeah. Ours definitely are developing their own.
So she walks inside. This is a really small. Think of an igloo made of square stones instead of ice. That's basically what she lives in. So as you walk down, it's like a single round room that has a place for a fire in the center where she cooks her food. She has a simple bed to the side, a simple kind of area where she keeps some clothing, just very minimal what she owns. Few weapons and things. Go ahead and make a perception check as well for me, Kallista.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
Why not?
Excellent. All right. As she enters, you notice that she has this cape that she kind of wears. It's a dark green cape. And as she takes it off, you see that she slips off this clasp that keeps the cape on to her kind of studded leather armor that she's wearing underneath. And as she sets down this cape and sets down the clasp on top of this little simple wooden table just inside the door, the clasp is made of some type of metal. It shines just a little bit as it catches some of the firelight. And you can see that it has this shape that looks like some kind of deer on it. Looks like some kind of logo of some sort. It's shaped like a deer.
It's a beautiful clasp.
Oh, that there. Yeah. It is quite beautiful. So, what brings you all this way?
Well, we heard rumors that you were the best to talk to on getting information on how to train our griffins.
Oh, yes. Yes, it seems my reputation is getting out there. As much as I don't like it to, as in sometimes. What is it that you seek? Training and riding these creatures?
Yes, training, riding, how to raise them, the basics. But also, I wanted to make something clear before we go forward. And I mean, no disrespect, but we've had quite a number of people express interest in our babies, and neither of us have any intention of giving them up or selling them. And I just wanted to make that clear to you. We came here for your expertise, not to get rid of them.
Haggling hard.
Fair enough. I must warn you in the fact that I don't think you understand the task that you are taking. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to train these creatures, especially at a young age that they are.
Of course, I expect no less.
But, and I, for one, care of the safety of the creatures as well, and also yours, because as these things grow,
and also what?
And also your safety as well, because as these creatures grow, they can be somewhat unpredictable at times, especially with not the right training. I understand. I know you don't want to part with these wonderful creatures, and I know you don't want to sell them. But maybe, perhaps, I don't know, maybe a trade could be something in store.
I don't think that's possible either. Knowing my partner, she's very protective, and a little bit of a short fuse lately. So I really don't think a trade should even be mentioned around her, at least. I understand where you're coming from, but let's keep that between you and me and just say no.
Okay.
I really don't want to risk her reaction to this.
Well, how about this? How about for the next 3 days, you all stay with me, and I train you on some of the griffins that are out there in the stables. I could train you on how to ride griffins like Quen and Malik, Solana, and Devaney, and allow you to see firsthand not only how difficult it is, but also to gain knowledge in how you can control these magical creatures to use for your benefit. Possibly then, maybe your friend could see the joy in it and maybe be willing to, I don't know, maybe work out a deal before you leave.
Well, I wouldn't hold your hopes up, as especially me myself, I have already grown in a bond with this one, and I don't see myself changing, and if I don't see myself changing, I highly doubt she will either. But
Yes, my dear.
I am willing.
Understand. Just keep your options open. Keep your options open.
Of course.
I have a feeling. I'm
then.
feeling like you might be the one to actually tame Malik.
Yeah, I've been dealing with a personality much like his lately. Now,
sure.
What do you want in return for your services?
Well, that was another matter I wanted to discuss.
Of course, me too.
So you said that you got these creatures from a giant. What kind of giant did you get these creatures from? And where and what was this giant doing?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. He kind of just showed up in the south and brought us up north and then kind of went on his way. He's got means of traveling through the sky, and that's how we came up here. But it's been a long journey, and I don't think you'll be able to find him. He's quite good at hiding.
Fair enough. Well, listen, I must be 100% honest. Currently, the giants have been causing a lot of ruckus around the north.
Yes, we've dealt with them in Bryn Shander recently.
It has a lot of us on edge. What happened in Bryn Shander?
Giants unrelated to our friend attacked Bryn Shander while we were there. And they seemed to be heading north? Even more north? Not sure. We dealt with some of them, but there's definitely more in that area.
Well, at least they're headed away from us.
That we know of. It's been a while since we've been in Bryn Shander, so...
Yes. Well... Perhaps, I may be able to offer the training for free. Normally, I charge about 250 gold pieces per person for 3 days training.
Okay.
But I might be able to waive the fee if... Well...
At what cost?
Well, that kind of depends. Maybe how I see how you respond to these creatures over the next 3 days. It might help me to, determine what kind of discount you can receive, if you're willing. That's of course.
Oh no, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you get for going alone.
I don't care.
Yeah, Kallista, you're not really sure what she's kind of talking about at this point, but you can tell that she's taking it somewhere, but she doesn't want to really talk about it or get into the details of it right now.
Well, worst case scenario, I will pay you for your services.
Oh, fair enough. My training cost is 250 gold per person. And for 3 days worth of training, it will be extensive. It will be hard. We will be up before dawn, and we will learn the ins and the outs and everything there is to know about these creatures.
One more question for you.
Yes, of course.
The Zhentarim.
Ah, you mean the guards out front?
I do.
Hired hands, merely hired hands. See,
Do you trust them?
yes, they've been working here for quite some time. You know,
Well,
she kind of leans closer to you. She's like, Zhentarim, they think they're getting a good deal, but you know what? You throw them a couple gold pieces, and they'll do your bidding.
yes, I'm well aware. I must be transparent that we've had not so good run-ins with the Zhentarim as of late. And
Yeah, not all of them have the features that you would would want from another person. But I tell you what, their greed sometimes is their downfall, but works for our benefit.
Kallista's smirking at this.
So you just got the sense that these guys are strictly hired, and she pays them just enough money to keep them satisfied.
Nice.
Not all of them are bad. They just, not all of them. They don't have their priorities set straight.
Ain't that the truth?
These ones have done a good job for me. They've protected the griffins, and that's their job.
Fair. Fair warning, if any of them step out of line towards me or my griffins, there will be problems.
Oh, you're...
Maybe pass that message along however you wish.
I will do so.
Thank you.
I'm sure it will be fine. And Kallista, with that, she kind of dismisses you and kind of gives you a pot of stew, and Kentucky walks in and kind of just gives you a glance. He starts to get some stew ready to take up to the rest of the group.
I'll help take it up.
You help take it up. Kentucky
Yeah.
spills a little bit off of the ladder as he's trying to put. He's like, oh man. And he keeps on bringing it up, and you guys are all welcomed as Kentucky brings up all of this stew and soup, and Kallista rejoins the party. You guys are kind of getting comfortable in this loft area above the stables. It's kind of comfortable. It smells a little bit from having living stables underneath, but you guys are able to get comfortable and kind of relax. And as you guys kind of settle down and have a nice bit of stew, this is where we're going to stop for this evening, as we kind of went 40 minutes overtime. I apologize for that.
Oh, that happened.
That happened. But we were getting to a good point, and I was about to wanted to get a good stopping point for next time whenever Ashlyn joins us. So
No, we're finally gonna sell the griffins.
You have 2 half-elves you gotta get through first.
Diana, oh my god, Diana might snap and actually murder somebody. Oh my god.
I've got
Yep.
2 guns directly beneath my image that say he's going right through them. Ain't that right, great grandson?
Oh my god.
So, when those of you that are viewing and those of you who tuned in tonight, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This was episode 25 of Storm King's Thunder, right here at Proficiency Bonus. Right now, what we're gonna do is, since we blew through all the natural 20s tonight, does anybody have any suggestions on whether combat or RP? Who deserves a natural 20 for next week? Anybody that's tuning in, you guys can jump in as well if you'd like to. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
I really liked how vindicating whatever Molfin was.
I gotta go, Kallista.
So vindicated.
Yeah. What stood out with Kallista for you tonight, Matthew?
I lost you.
What stood out for Christy Kallista tonight?
Just more the ending portion of it, the whole little bit entering into a Fireshear.
Yeah, I like the way just watching Christy in the camera whenever she learns of Zhentarim anywhere. Like she has that. This is what she does every single time. This is it. Like her head goes way back, and she's just like, "Oh, not again."
It's
I don't even notice I'm doing it.
every single time.
It's like, ah!
It's like, no,
Turn it again.
what? These rings, they're everywhere.
Make it stop.
We're hiring.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
I don't know, Diana throwing that thing in the fire.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
That
No,
was
that
good
was
too.
Dying.
That was
Oh,
pretty
So
solid.
savage.
And that came out of nowhere too, both
I
times.
know.
Like it was
Made
just
me so proud.
boom. Oh wow.
Twice.
I wish Sarah would have been here because she could have role played Ashlyn a little bit better during all that like going on. So I can't wait till next week when she's here and can
Yeah.
jump on board with that because I think that'll add a whole different character dynamic there that I just
Oh my god.
I didn't want to ruin it for her, so I want her to be able to play that. So yeah, that was pretty amazing too. I don't know. I don't think Christy's had the Nat 20 in a while, so we're gonna give it to Christy for tonight. For the Nat 20, since the rest of you had it. Everybody else, you guys have DM's inspiration for next week, and we'll throw Ashlyn a DM's inspiration as a gift for getting back into the swing of things and not being able to play. But I also wanted to mention that after the cat battle and making it to Fireshear, you guys are now level 6 characters.
Yes!
Yay!
Ah!
Level 6.
Level 6.
Level
Level
6. Level 6.
Oh my god.
And yes, so sometime during this week, go ahead and level up your characters. If you guys could get them done, kind of like by Wednesday or something like that.
I'll probably have them done tonight.
Okay, that will help me out because I make these. I've got these little character sheets that I print out. This one's Lachlan's right here. It's basically those little things that go in the top corner, but I also put your passive perception and insight on these, so that way I can make rolls without you making rolls, which is what I do sometimes, on whether you notice things or not.
Cool.
So if you guys could update those, I don't know if too much of that's going to change, but I like to print these out before we get to a new episode.
Wow.
So, with that being said, that was interesting.
Good game.
That was a
Yeah.
good game, everybody. Man, I tell
All
you
the
what,
cats.
I'm just
Awesome.
stoked. All the cats. Diana just going
All the
crazy on stuff. I mean, things are getting wacky now.
Diana
Yeah,
with the
you know.
claws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Diana is taken to just melting things, I'm noticing. I was going to get a
No,
point that
why?
Ilmater sort of has to have a conversation with her, be like, dude, stop disintegrating things from within.
I know. I know. Like, what's wrong with her? I'm like gonna be thinking about this all night. Like, when did she get so messy? I can't.
Well, I think it's great. This is great. Great story arcs happening. Things are changing. I love it. And that's fantastic. So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Team MZ, Nightshade Creations, Many Sided Dice. Thank you guys for supporting us. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. If you haven't already, hit that follow button so you can be notified on when we go live next week. We will be at episode 26. We'll have Sarah back to play Ashlyn next week. So everything will be good to go for next week's adventure. But before we go, I'm going to make sure that you guys all remember that no matter what you run into this week, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. It's important. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.
Hey, love
Good
you.
night.
Bye.
Have a good night.